yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind, coming to you 250 miles above your imagination from the International Fake Station. I'm up here in this IT nightmare of wires and messes and all kinds of shit, and I think we got some of Don Pettit's poop floating around still up in here someplace. Got to keep our eye out for that. I'm up here with my good friend and co-pilot, Sumting Wong, who is here to make sure that we stay on course and navigate around this beautiful realm unscathed. So how is everybody tonight? All right, let's look at who we got. We got Mojo Shops here. Of course. We got Sue B. Ratio. We got Maria Walker. Listen, welcome to the Clown Show. The Clown Show is in full swing. I'm having fun watching how they're trying to manipulate people's minds, and I'm watching it through the eyes with many others as to what the fuck are you pulling, right? Let's see, we got Push Button 62. Chillings is with us. So we got Jehovah's lovely daughter, Barbara. How are you tonight? Mental Pancakes here too. Let's see, who else? Saddle Bum is here. Checked in. We're going to mark you in our little book here. You're good. JP is here with us. Let's see, who else? Did I miss anybody? That's all right. They'll come piling in. Eldon Bean, I see Eldon Bean. Sound off, people. Sound off, people. I don't know you're here unless you sound off, right? Carrie Skates, good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. All right, so we have had like Clown Show. I don't even know where to fucking begin. What I want to know right now is how come nobody's talking about fucking Trump and his ear healing up? What's up with that? Why nobody's talking about this shit? It's just, oh well, yeah, that happened. Okay, so on with this maniacal craziness. Are none of his supporters even going to go, Mr. Trump, couldn't help but notice that you had this miraculous healing of your ear, and we're out here just kind of wondering, what kind of fucking Jesus-like powers is it that allowed you to do something like, nobody's talking about that. No, they're just talking about Kamala now is black. She's superpowers. This is cool. because she can change ethnicities, as all that should matter. Here we are all this time talking about you're supposed to be colorblind and race doesn't matter and gender doesn't matter. But look, we got a black woman. Oh, that's good. Woman, black. Oh, shit. The stuff that you're not supposed to pay attention to. Really trying to fuck with your mind, man, all the time. He's got a med bed stop. Yes, he does. He must. He's got to have some kind of shit going on. He's got to have some kind of shit going on. Now he's really playing it up to his little Christian followers that are going to tell him, you know, hey, we think you're God, you know, we think that you're touched by Jesus and shit, and we're really glad that we're voting for you. Whoa, man, this is getting scary. This is getting really scary. Hello, Brad Tasha. Good to see you, my friend. LJ is here as well. Rachel Zinger. I was like trying to read that phonetically. Good to see you, Rach. Malone and Sloan. All right. And remember, I believe that the link is pinned up in the top of the chat if anybody wants to come up, discuss any of this craziness that's going on. The Globetards are losing their fucking minds. I don't think the final experiment is working out the way that they had hoped it would, because there's a great many people that are going, yeah, that's not whatever, man. That's not going to make the earth a globe, regardless of what you see. And they're like, well, yes, I will. No, it's not. There's other crazy nonsense too about, I've been seeing a growing number of people talking about, oh, we got an upward rising earth. And I'm like, no, there's no upward rising earth. Okay. That's just ridiculous nonsense. Don't be a Deltardian, please. No, I did not watch Squid Game. LJ, I did not watch it. I really don't like to get into series, and especially shit like that, you know, where they try to play stuff off, and I don't know. No, I didn't watch that at all. I should check it out, but I don't know, man. Whatever happened to Lowry? I was on his show yesterday. He had a show going on, him and his girl, and I was on there, and Andrew was on there with us, and oh, and this is something that I think will probably drive my gun nuts. You know, if there's any gun nuts out there, people that are against firearms, you know, I'm against firearms, but I'm all for guns. My audience knows what I'm saying. Check this out. That's what I say. Make America great again, please. Wow. You know what I was doing, man? I was like naming off every one of those fucking guns as it was shooting. I saw a Steyr AUG in there. I saw some really cool, some pretty sweet ones. Saw a Keltec, some pretty nice looking babes blasting bullets. That's it, Riley. That's it. That's what America's all about. It's your constitutional right. That's the way I look at it, right? I was watching this little video that was kind of crazy. It's this, we can stop as it goes through because this is kind of funny. This is like, what year was this? Does it say? It's early 20th century. I would say probably 30s or 40s. And they're asking these people, you know, what do you do about the flu or a cold? You know, what's your remedy for it? And some of these make sense. Some of them you still hear of. But there's some other ones on here that are just completely freaking bizarre. Wait till you listen to these. These are nuts.
I take vitamin C and lemon balm and whiskey.
Well, I start the day with a good hot breakfast. Porridge, eggs and bacon, and a drop of whiskey and tea.
You can defy the virus then.
Ah, very good.
What about you, madam?
I believe in a good breakfast, but I also believe if you have got the flu, rinse your inside out with continually with boiled water, about 4 or 5 half-pint glasses a day. Boiled water.
Well, my remedy for flu is to get a small Spanish onion, chop it up finely, and put some brown sugar over it and a little vinegar. And then when it's into a syrup, take a spoonful before you go to bed. It's a very good remedy.
Well, I'm a great believer in whiskey. I'm like the Scotchman. I believe in a drop of whiskey warm, and it sort of kills the germs.
I'm seeing a pattern where maybe alcoholism is the cure to it. I don't know, man. These people they got that whiskey in there. And even now, you get something over the counter that's got, fuck you up with liquor and shit in it. Like NyQuil, that's just nasty tasting liquor. That's all. Get drunk. Of course, it's going to put you to sleep.
I think Gordon is a marvellous idea.
What's your recipe?
A jolly good hot rum punch and a jolly good sweat and stuff in bed till it's all over.
More rum.
Right?
Well, my mother recommends an old sweaty stock with salt round your throat, good pullover, and a good hot water bottle, and sweat it out. And then if you feel that you're not going to spread germs around, then get out.
Well, I think it's quite a simple ailment to deal with. Take a jolly good dose of salt and let nature do the rest.
Well, the best.
Okay, so what he meant by that is laxatives. Okay. He's going to shit the cold out. That's what he's going to do. So a dose of salts. You've heard of something going through somebody like a dose of salts. That's what they're talking about is Epsom salt. That'll give you the shits quick.
Best way that we find, and the only way, is the use of elderflower wine. If you take a good glassful tonight and you go to bed and you sweat it out, and you're all right in a day too.
Well, there is a good cure in mustard and lard, and you rub the two well together and get a good blend in, and then after it's really, I don't know how to do it, but my father does it.
But does he eat it or does he rub it into his chest?
Rub it on your chest in the front and back.
Oh.
And it's
Yeah, I don't think I'd want to eat. Yeah, you'd have to. I was hoping they were talking about rubbing that on their body. I can't see eating lard and mustard. That's nasty.
just a good cure.
I see. How about you? Have you got a good cure?
Goose grease. You can rub that on your chair, after you've been cooking a goose, and then keep the grease and rub it on your chair.
A large sheet of brown paper and cut it to go under the arms.
Yes.
And you warm it first and get hot, a warm goose grease. So and spread mustard over the brown paper first.
Yes.
Get warm goose grease, which most people have got in the house.
Wait a minute. Most people have warm goose grease in their house. I know that's not true today, but do you think that there was a time that people actually, oh, Margaret, I seem to be low. Can I borrow the tablespoon of warmed goose grease, please? Why, certainly, Helen. I mean, it's like warmed goose grease. Okay. I don't know, man.
Spread it over the mustard on the paper to avoid any burning of the skin.
I see.
And should inflammation be setting in, as the doctor says it does sometimes, you boil elderflower and give the patient a dose of the elderflower water.
And if that doesn't work, then you pound an upholstery tack into the middle of their forehead with a small hammer.
I see. But then do you go to bed with this on, this brown paper?
Yes, and the goose grease avoids it from burning.
Oh. Don't you find it a bit messy?
Oh, well, you've got to spread that. You've got to put up with that, haven't you?
Well, if I feel as if the flu is coming on me, I take a nice big tumbler full of hot lemonade, put in about 3 teaspoonfuls of rum, 2 aspirins, get into bed, cover myself up well, tie the stocking that I've been wearing on my feet, one of them around my throat with a safety pin, and stay in bed and sweat it out. And in the morning, change my pajamas and stay in the bed. And then again, I do it again, and that's once in the afternoon, once again at night. And I find in 3 days' time, I'm cured.
What do you find is the best way to cure the flu?
Well, just think that you haven't got it. And to better than that, boil onion.
Yes.
And just leave it go cool, warm, just cool for drinking, and drink it up, and that's it. And just don't be lang about. Just get out of it and work it off yourself. That's the only thing that, well, I've still got it now and I'm still about.
You've got flu now, have you? Well, in that case, I won't keep you another minute. Thank you.
So anybody out there got a bizarre remedy for the cold or anything like that we may not have heard of?
I take vitamins.
I mean, I've heard a lot of those. I've heard about cutting an onion and letting it set in the room. There seems to be a thing about onions. I don't really understand what it is about onions, but I've even heard that you can detoxify your body of heavy metals by putting onion on the bottom of your feet. So what are your thoughts of more and more overweight people and only getting worse? Well, it's indicative of our food. Okay. We don't have real food. 90% of the people go and get their food from the grocery store. 90% of that food is bioengineered, processed, covered with chemicals. And consequently, here's a thing that happens. I wondered, why was it that so many poor people were overweight? You would figure them to be the most lean of the population. But what happens is they go and they buy the cheapest food. Okay. And they eat that food, and the apostat, that which makes you hungry, that thing that makes you go, hey, I'm hungry. The apostat, because your belly's full, and it cuts off, right? So the food goods in there, or whatever you've eaten in there, starts to digest down. Well, now the body on a cellular level starts going, hey, man, I didn't get some shit that I need down here. You need to send another load. So the apostat kicks back on. And what you do is you keep eating the same shit that wasn't giving you what you needed in the first place. And it expresses itself as unneeded caloric intake, and you get fat. We're not eating food. We're eating a facsimile of food. So that's what I think is going on. That, and the fact that we do, it's not just a sedentary lifestyle, though. It's not that we have more of than we did back in the day. I think that the food dulls us into a sedentary lifestyle. So I think that it's symptomatic of the cause, is what I think the docility of people actually is. The sloth that most people exhibit is a result of that poor nourishment. And that's exactly what they do in a prison camp, okay, which we're in, is through poor nutrition, disrupted sleep patterns. They're able to subdue the population of a camp or a prison or what have you, through those means: sleep deprivation, fear, anxiety, and nutritional deprivation. So welcome to the world's biggest fucking prison camp. We're in it. You know what I'm saying? Cayenne pepper for coagulation and onions in your prepper bag. Okay, I could dig that. All right. So somebody else said something else too here. But yeah, I thought that was rather interesting. Here was somebody caught International Space Station glitch. If anybody's interested on this, the ISS was supposedly over the Pacific Ocean. And this was coming through. Let's take a look at that real quick.
Hey everybody, it's Sean Hilbler from Hill Productions. I was watching the ISS quote unquote live, and check this out. Pay attention. Right in this area. Whoop. I mean, for the love of God, if you guys still think this shit's real, just unfollow me.
All the time. And people keep buying into it. But the beautiful thing is more and more people are not buying into it. And the only thing they have left is through this media, we call internet, through this 24/7 information exchange that takes place all over the world. The only thing they can do is try to capture your mind. And you're seeing stories about, oh my God, people that you were going to vote for Trump are now going to vote for Kamala. Well, if you got any brains about you, you know that voting for either one is stupid. Okay. But either way, what they're trying to do is they're hijacking people's perception. Now, nobody really thinks that that's true, not in any kind of a huge capacity. I'm sure that there were some people that were just like, I I'd vote for Trump just because he's not Joe Biden. And now it's like, oh, well, I didn't want Trump so bad. Anyways, it's this lesser of two evils bullshit that they think they're playing. And they don't realize that this crap has already been fucking decided. It's already been decided. Whether or not you go and cast a ballot for it is irrelevant to who becomes in there. Okay, it's not who casts the vote, it's who counts the vote. People need to understand that. And either way, it doesn't matter. You don't have shit to do with it. You're not the Electoral College. They don't have to do what you tell them to do. They can do whatever the fuck they want to. So, yeah, I know. I don't know if they're stuck on it. We'll check space.com for latest headlines here in a little bit. Yeah. So, wow. What was this? It was a pretty good little song. We'll play that for an intermission here in a little while. It was pretty good. A thing a Robot Polisher put out. It's pretty evident that this collapse was planned. I don't know if anybody's paying attention, but from what I understand, the stock market crashed today, and people are having a rough time. The FDIC is, of course, not going to be able to cover people's withdrawals, cash that they lose in the banks. I mean, it's just like, even though you're guaranteed that, there's no way they've got the funds to be able to cover it. We're running into a lot of problems when it comes to that. There's all kinds of shit. You got Governor Newsom out in California has now started clearing out all these homeless encampments, but nobody's there again, just like Trump's fucking ear. Nobody's going, what are they doing with the people, man? Where are they putting the people that were once entrenched in these homeless camps all over the goddamn state of California, and primarily in Los Angeles and San Francisco? I mean, where are they at? They just what, killing them or incarcerating them, or what are you? What the fuck is going on in this world that we're not able to? I don't know, man. I don't know. This is really crazy. Did you guys see? And this is the thing too. I think they do this on purpose, but this is actually, and I'm going to show you a thing that a guy's going to kind of dissect it. Why are they putting this right in our face? Why is this broad say, listen to this stupid shit? They ask her what she's going to do to fix the fucking inflation. Listen to this dumb shit.
What else are you going to do to fix this problem with inflation?
All right, thank you. Well, let's start with this. Prices have gone up, and families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more. And we have to understand what that means. That's about the cost of living going up. That's about having to stress and stretch limited resources. That's about a source of stress for families that is not only economic, but is on a daily level, something that is a heavy weight to carry. So it is something that we take very seriously, very seriously. And we know from the history of this issue in the United States that when you see these prices go up, it has a direct impact on the quality of life for all people in our country. So it's a big issue, and we take it seriously. And it is a priority, therefore.
What the fuck did she say? Prices
something
go
about
up.
prices going up. Yeah.
Yeah, and it causes the prices go up, and it causes hardships on people, and it makes it harder for them to buy because things cost more. No, really.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
again, what is your plan to tackle this out of control inflation?
Fix this problem.
Eh.
Well, let's take a listen. Does she got anything else to say besides that? That was it?
No, that was it. That's all she said.
Oh, that'll
And
get
they're
around.
good. They're good with it.
Oh, yeah. I was sitting here thinking of how to debate for the upward rising earth, and I couldn't come up with a decent argument to save my ass. So I just,
Oh my God, that is so ridiculous.
I know.
Okay, so I had this woman in a thread trying to tell me, she goes, well, that's what causes the gradient. And I'm like, no, it's not. It isn't. Not at all.
Well, what was her proof for that? That's what I want to know. How do
I have
you
no-
prove that?
Well,
Even get a
going
density
up
power.
from where to where? In what? What are we moving up through? What is the medium that the Earth is rising through?
It's
I
a
mean, none of it
gabagoo.
makes any fucking sense at all.
We're floating in a gabagoo up to nowhere. I have no idea where they're going with that, and everything would change, wouldn't it, if we were just constantly rising up? I mean, it'd have to be the whole universe rising up. It's like,
Well, yeah, I mean, I would mean everything, the stars, everything are all going up at the same time, all just moving upward. And this is your explanation is for why things fall. Well, not everything falls either.
well,
So
how about
that's
when it goes across the sky? What is that? How does that work out?
well, it's a simple look. It only would be a temporary condition. Okay. And let me see where I can find that at. Let me see. It's
It's like my
in
mental
here.
health. It's a temporary condition.
Where was it? There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so in this video right here, it's a temporary condition, as you will see. Watch.
All right.
Let me, because it goes in the x-axis as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And
So,
up at the same time.
right. So here it is. What do we got? Gravity sideways? Or what's going on here? And you'll notice that they don't stay in that condition until the acceleration, once the speed is reached, then they normalize, they equalize.
Yeah, I've seen this. Beautiful little video.
Let me just,
If there's any difference. And Blake, what do you think? Will there be a difference?
Don't forget to buckle up.
I don't know.
Buckle up,
I think
Dave.
that maybe this one will be a little bit more grounded. Because I don't know. That's just
Alright,
that's my hypothesis.
Let's try it. So Sarah, go ahead and punch it. All right, emergency stop. Yeah. Did you see what we did? Right. When we accelerated, we got pushed backwards. Essentially.
No,
The
no.
balloon went forward.
now notice that it didn't stay in those positions. It was a temporary condition.
It's like displacement. That's what you were talking about earlier, right?
Right. That's it right there. All it did was it temporarily made the air in the back of that van denser than the air at the front of the van, temporarily. And therefore, seeking relative density equilibrium, the helium balloon went in the direction of the less dense medium. Outside of the downward
Strange.
vector.
I don't see that happen anywhere. I don't see it happen anywhere. And I'm sitting outside right now. I'm watching. There's a couple of birds flying. You know.
Because of
Like,
So motion is constant motion is acceleration. These people think that means you're going faster and faster and faster. No, constant acceleration for movement is needed for a sustained speed. And like for instance, when you're going down the highway, you don't just push your accelerator down, get it up to speed, and then take your foot off. You don't do that because what happens? The car starts slowing down. You have to apply constant acceleration to the object in order to maintain the speed. So,
So if that's the case, when Joshua told the sun to stop for a day, everything had to
man.
stop going up, sideways. It had to put the brakes on everything.
yeah, I mean, everything would have just kept going. The Earth stops and everything keeps going at the speed that the Earth was going, which would have been kind of catastrophic, you know?
Yeah, it'd have been a mess, dude. Oh hell.
So this
no
right
argument
here
for
alone just
upward rising
shows
Earth.
that aspect of upward acceleration is not feasible.
No, even the globe spin for itself, like, doesn't have a rim velocity. You would actually feel that linear motion at some point, especially in an elliptical orbit where you're actually out of step with everything for part of your rotation. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry about that, Dave.
That's all right. It's all right. It makes me think the cops are coming.
No, they're already here, dude. Most of them work in asset protection.
Let's look how easy it is for these motherfuckers to fake space, man. This is insane.
That looks like a gondola.
Okay, so that looked like he was going through a vertical shaft or a horizontal shaft, but merely because of the orientation of the camera, he was actually being lowered down from that hole was up top, and he was being lowered down, but it gives it that effect. See,
camera angles, man. Where'd you find this video, Dave?
I don't think we need the music. It's kind of irritating.
No, it is. Where did you find the video?
Where did I find this video? It was on, I forget, somebody's post on X. Oh, wait.
There's a lot of people doing a lot on X.
Oh, yeah. And that's the whole thing. And right now, you got to realize you need to question every fucking thing. Where was that thing? I'll have to show you this thing of where they can, AI can make these fucking people say anything. I'll show it here in just a minute. Look at that. Makes it look like he's in this room. Yeah. And that shit isn't even happening. He's in front of that green screen right there. It's that good.
I was watching Jaron a while back, and he said they've had a lot of this technology even before NASA went to the moon.
Oh, sure.
He was digging through the archives. Yeah.
Amazing.
Called it Chrome or something. It is.
Chroma key.
And don't grab the harness, sir. Don't touch that. Yeah, chroma key, that's the word.
Look at there. We're going to have to talk to HR for that unwanted touching right there. We're going to have to call HR for that unwanted touching. Harassment. It is a sexual harassment. Sexual harassment.
And pronouns and stuff like that. Imagine what you do if you one of these guys. They would freak the fuck out.
When one astronaut touches another astronaut's harness, that makes me a sad panda. You ever see that South Park?
I remember that. No, I haven't.
Sexual harassment panda. It was like this mascot they had for, like all these, and then he had to go live in the island of misfit mascots. Oh, you got to look for it. It's funny as shit. Let's look for sexual harassment panda. Let me see if I can find a clip of it. Let me see here on my thing on Facebook. I posted that because this thing, AI, is going to get us.
Yeah, I remember the don't ask, don't tell thing when the military back in the 80s. Good God. They made a big deal about that. Oh. And now it's seeping into the public.
Here you go. AI is going
to be PC.
Kill. AI is going to kill. This is just great. Watch this.
All right.
I'm Kamala Harris, and this is my rebranding. I get it. Until now, Americans have seen me as that childless Karen that always has too many drinks at the cocktail party, and you don't have the heart to tell my husband Doug that he's a whipped beta male married to an insufferable witch. Look, I get it. I'm unlikable.
Holy shit.
Authentic, crazy.
It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. When we talk about the children of the community, they are children of the community. You need to get to go and need to be able to get where you need to go to do the work and get home.
And yes, okay, I was the border czar. And so even though I might have been a bad vice president, what I do have is ambition. You would not believe what I would do for this country. Oh, who am I kidding? If you vote for me, you're as cringe as Chuck Schumer.
We are here today to throw our support behind Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm clapping.
Yay.
Let's all see what can be, unburdened by what has been. And by what has been, I mean the Biden-Harris administration. Vote Trump 2024. Let's make America great again.
I'm Professor Sagan Deesnuts, and I approve this message.
Nice. If we put them out in the woods and they all die, we wouldn't have any more problems anymore.
I thought that. Put them out there and let them do their shit, right?
Yeah, exactly. See how long they last.
Did you see this drone? Did you see this drone that the Chinese have now?
No, I haven't.
This is whack, man. Let me pull this up. How much is?
观察另一名队员呢，现在释放了一个仿生两，它的作用是现在呢看到的是这仿生两在空中呢进行对我们前方的区域进行全速的侦查。仿生两的特点呢和真的观察另一名队员。
You remember that one, don't you?
They're coming, man. Fucking
They are.
Chinese are coming, bro. They're gonna get us, man. If they don't get us, this is who will. This is who will get us if they don't. You guys are gonna love this. You imagine see this coming running up the street on you? Watch this.
That's a trans fembot.
I don't know what that is, man, but that's the shit nightmares are made from right there, man. I don't even know where to go with that.
Oh, you make it into a pinata and you take a ball bat and you beat its head in.
This guy covers his ass. I mean, this is pretty extreme how this guy has to cover his ass. This is pretty bad. Watch this. We're just having some fun right now. Watch this.
Girlfriend
Fucking wreck
coma.
the car. Fucking wreck the car to stay from getting in trouble. That's pretty extreme, man. That's
He'd
pretty
visit her in the hospital after the accident, right?
that'll get her to forget about it. Wow.
I feel sorry for you, Dave. You're gonna have to by yourself. I got to get back to work. Oh, somebody.
Oh,
joined
that's
you.
all right, man. That's all right. I got another thing that's pretty cool. I'm gonna show you here in just a minute too. Where did I do with that? Let me see. It's is it real? No. You ever go to Waffle House?
I've had scattered, smothered, chunked, and topped before. I think some point in time. Yes, I've been to a Waffle House.
Oh, this is great. This is great. You'll like this.
Waffle House, where you can pretty much have everything your way. You can have hash browns, we'll make your eggs, we'll pour your coffee. Heck, we'll even make bacon and, of course, the famous waffles. But what we won't do is put up with your shit. We're not your daddy, we're not your mom, and if you want to fuck around, you're going to find out real quick.
Oh.
And if you want to throw a chair, we've got a Wendy for that too. Or we did, Waffle House. When you're here, you're not family. And we're not your daddy. Unless you want us to be. Welcome to the all-new Waffle House.
Nice promo for the Waffle House, man. Nice promo. Well, I'm gonna get back
That's
to it.
it. That's that old joke. What's
And if you can come up with a
yellow?
reason for upper resin.
What's yellow and has two teeth? Waffle House third
Waffle House
shift.
waitress.
Third shift
Hell
at
yeah.
Waffle House.
Yeah, they got rid of that third shift though, didn't they? They made them close at 11 at one point in time, didn't they?
Oh, did they? I don't know, man. I
Yeah,
haven't heard anything.
back on the East Coast when they come out with the pandemic, they were shutting down everything at 11 o'clock.
Oh,
They were
yeah.
afraid you were gonna get sick. Yeah.
Yeah, because they
Go home
that
and take a
chick
shot of
was-
whiskey.
Yeah, was hanging out. Yeah, go home and have a shot of whiskey and suck on some lemon syrup that you make. That's the way to do
Yeah.
it. Seems like a shot of whiskey was a common trend with every one of those ailments. You know, every one of those remedies.
That's what my grandma used to give me when I got sick. She'd get a whiskey and some honey and give me a shot. No matter how old I was, she'd have that whiskey
Yeah.
shot right there, ready for it. Nope, I'm gonna go
Grandma,
today.
I'm sick again.
Yeah, I need some more of that whiskey.
I need.
Night, guys.
I can't get over this cold. Hit me up with that fucking Johnny Walker again, man. Do that.
The Black Label.
Yeah, get that shit. Get in my belly. Get in my belly.
Well, I'm gonna be listening to you.
All right, brother. Have a good night, man. Thanks for coming up.
I will. All right. You too.
Yeah, this has been some crazy shit going on. This is an interesting thing too, and this is what they're counting on. Okay, so when they're going, most of the world believes this, or the majority of people believe this. This is what they're counting on your brain to be doing right here. Okay, this is let me see here just a second. The Asch experiment. This was called the Asch experiment, and this is really interesting. And it shows how social pressure can lead to conformity. And this is just a small little portion of this, and I think you'll get a great deal of information. This will make you understand. I got this, everything ready? A go-go?
The Asch experiment is one of psychology's oldest and most popular pieces of research. A volunteer is told that he's taking part in a visual perception test. What he doesn't know is that the other participants are actors, and he's the only person taking part in the real test, which is actually about group conformity.
Please begin. The experiment you will be taking part in today involves the perception of line length. Your task will be simply to look at the line here on the left and indicate which of the 3 lines on the right is equal to it in length. So, for example,
The actors have been told to match the wrong lines. The volunteer will be monitored to see if he gives the correct answer or if he goes along with the opinion of the group and gives the wrong answer. In the first test, the correct answer is 2.
1. 1. 1.
2. 1. Once again, the correct answer is 2.
3. 3. 3.
3.
3.
The Asch experiment has been repeated many times, and the results have been supported again and again. We will conform to the group. Again, we're very social creatures. We're very much aware of what the people around us think. We want to be liked. We don't want to be seen to rock the boat, so we will go along with the group. Even if we don't believe what people are saying, we'll still go along.
1. 1. 1. 1.
Group dynamics is one of the most powerful forces in human psychology.
1.
He's just ready to go along with what everybody else says. And this is what they count on with you. This is why they run these fucking mind games. People have known for 2,000 years. Most people believe, well, I don't give a fuck what most people believe. I want to know what's real. I want to know what's true. I don't have to be with the whole, see this whole thing, this conformity. Nobody wants to be the odd man out, but
the Asch experiment.
I've always been the odd man out, so it didn't matter to me. That's some crazy shit, you know? And so they run some stuff like this. Look at all these people that love Kamala. You see, this is one of the games they're running. 2 weeks ago, she was the dumbest fucking thing walking besides Joe Biden. Now she's the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? And I'm like, whoa, wait. How'd that happen? What's going on? And of course, I understand what they're doing. It's all about what they keep pushing and repeating. And just like that guy capitulated in the Asch experiment to go ahead with everybody else, even though it was obviously the wrong answer, he went against what he thought, what he knew was right in order to conform to the group. This is unfortunately what we've got going on. And it's why is that? Is because people have been taught to be reactionary and not actionable. They don't know how to be actionable. Stop going with the flow. Use your own thoughts. Use your own mind. Fuck what some guy said a long time ago, or what some famous guy said, or da. Use your own brain. Does it work for you? Does it work for you? It's that simple. That's where you have to get into this whole change in the way that your mind works. And this is where you start to learn to question everything. And this is why these people are just make me sick. These people that are wanting to engage in this fucking bullshit arena with this, you know, who's going to be the fucking president and all this dumb shit. I mean, my God, are you people not even, you're so immersed in your team that none of you are going, you know, that motherfucker lied and said he got shot in the fucking ear. He lied to every one of us to make us think that he was shot in the fucking ear. And none of them are calling him out on that. Nobody's saying anything. And don't get me wrong, I'm not for the other guy or anybody. I'm not for any of these guys. I want to point out to all of you what clowns these fucking people all are. Every last one of them. They're a silly spectacle of a clown. And they've got you believing that they're important. They've got you believing and you're taking them serious. When in reality, if that's not enough for everybody to go, you know what? I'm just going to disregard these fucking clowns. I can't take them fucking serious at all. You know, why are we participating in this? That's the whole thing. And we need to, you know, take it back. Take it back. Take back our God-given sovereignty. You know, stop worrying about what some fucking actor on your TV tells you. And yeah, even ones that say, oh, I'm a politician or I'm a president or I'm a king. Who the fuck made you king? I didn't. Who made you in charge of me? I didn't fucking agree to none of that. What are you doing? So when it comes down to it, the only thing they have left is violence. And violence just begets violence. So government and force is nothing more than violence, and it comes down to yourself defending yourself from that violence. But what we fail to understand, at least I and most of my watchers know this, is that we greatly outnumber them. All we have to do is just stop. Just stop. Stop playing their fucking game. And guess what? There's no game. You can't play if there's no pieces. Don't be pawns in their little game. That's what I'm saying. You gotta get into that. So this is pretty crazy. Somebody, so I just got a nice buzz, and I think this is crazy. You guys want to see this is like what my dreams are like. Okay, so. Fucking AI videos are getting, I mean, I'm like, I ran across that and I was like, what in the fuck is that? And there's more of them. This guy's name, Malka, I think. Or who did it come from? Some site called G. And man, there's some really freaky ass videos over on that site. Anyway, I'm looking for something. Yeah, here's the thing. People are like, oh, I want to keep America great again. And we want to have Donald Trump. And it's like, don't you understand? They're both fucking retarded. Okay. Kamala talks about, I'm going to take the guns away. I'm going to do this, that, and the other. Well, Trump's going to do the same thing. He wants to do the same thing, but it's all whether or not we let them. They don't get to just wave a magic wand or write some shit down on a piece of paper and then all of a sudden that's how everything goes. It's not how that fucking works. We have to consent with it. So you take a look at this clown. Banned bump stocks. No real reason other than there was a hype in the media that somehow made a gun more dangerous, which indeed it does not. Does it assist you in a faster rate of fire? Yes. Yeah, I think it can. if you understand how to work it, all it is a spring-loaded mechanism that causes the gun to move with the recoil, and you hold your finger still, and it makes the gun shoot. I mean, you got to understand, there's no danger. Okay, no more danger than anything else. I think that if anything, full auto is only useful when you're trying to lay down suppressing fire or cover fire. In your larger full auto calibers, those are, for destroying equipment and other positions that you want taken out. But anyway, so he banned bump stocks. He signed the Fix NICS to expand prohibited persons faulty database. The NICS system, there again, that was a brainchild of the National Rifle Association. Again, another infringement on the Second Amendment. It's nobody's fucking business what you own. Okay. He supports red flag gun confiscation, supports raising minimum age to purchase firearms. Then why don't they raise the minimum age of draft? If you raise the minimum age of purchasing a firearm, which you shouldn't have anything to do with either, then if you're going to have that draft, but that's only relevant if you actually identify as a corporate subject, a United States citizen. That's your business. Told British TV he was going to seriously look at banning suppressors and ignored legislation to deregulate suppressors. He supports the TAPS Act. He supported expanding background checks, registration. Quipped about wanting to terminate parts of the Constitution, which people have to understand. The Constitution does not give you rights. Okay? The Constitution does not give you rights. The only thing that has to do with you is the Bill of Rights. Okay? And all that is a list of shit that God gave you that the government can't fuck with. That's all the Bill of Rights is. It's just a written down list of already established facts. So, unalienable rights endowed to you by your creator, not by George Washington, not by Thomas Jefferson, not by anybody. No swinging dick in the world had a fucking play in you having those rights. Okay, they're because they're endowed upon you by your creator. Now, we just wrote them down saying, here's some stuff you can't fuck with. That's all. So even if they burnt that piece of paper, it doesn't change the fact that you have those unalienable God-given rights. So too bad. Told Senator Feinstein to include assault weapons ban in the school safety bill. But what is an assault weapon? How do you define? Who gets to define what is that? How do you put intention on anything? How do you put intention on an inanimate object? How do you do that? You can't. You can't. If that's an assault rifle, okay, or an assault weapon, and I had people that were trying to assault me with this assault weapon, what is an appropriate defense weapon? Is there an appropriate defense weapon? Is there anything that's listed as a defense weapon? Because if something is an assault weapon, then there must be also something that's called a defense weapon. And often you find that what you defend yourself is the same weapon. It's the intent is in whoever's using that tool. Okay, these things don't have a mind of their own. Guns don't just get up off the shelf or out of my gun safe and say, hey, we're going to the mall for a little bit, Dad, be right back. No, none of that occurs. None of that. In fact, they don't do anything unless I pick them up and do something with them. Okay? Other than that, they just sit there and look pretty. Some people think they're scary because of their color. Wouldn't this be something? This was an idea I had. You know, everybody thinks, ooh, black scary rifle, right? Wouldn't that be cool if a company came out and made like all white AR-15s, all white AK-47, all white Heckler and Koch? Yeah. Then what? Is that took the scary? My wife has a pink AR-15. It's not scary, see? So, what the hell? I certainly requested the narrative stories. Yes, yes, yes. Pepper salt. Thank you, Shane. Yeah, it's and that's the thing. People think, oh, well, if we ban guns, which you can't, because how are you going to do that? How are you going to get the guns? You're going to have to be antithetical to your belief system because you're going to need guns to get the guns, right? And then there's only one group of people that has the guns. People dumb, right? So yeah, white guns matter. You know, if you did have that, what I was saying about somebody making white rifles and shit like that, they would say that's racist or some kind of thing. They would. Oh, look, white supremacy. Oh yeah, I even got it now. White rifles, the supreme choice. Oh yeah, that would do it right there. Ah, I'm an idea man. Too bad I don't have the capital. I could really rock this shit. Let's see. I gotta scroll through some of this shit because of some of it I cannot show on YouTube because of their policies. This is what I wanted to send to Kamala Harris. I should post this to her on her timeline. It's beneficial. I think that a lot of you will get a lot out of this too. But Kamala, who apparently doesn't know what inflation is or what causes it, not that she can do anything about it. I don't even know. Now, here's the thing. The fact that a fucking the reporter doesn't know shit about our economy, doesn't know shit about our government or anything else that's going on. Why are you asking a fucking president what they're going to do about inflation? How does the president have anything to do with inflation whatsoever? They don't. They have no control. They have nothing to do with it at all. Okay? Now, signing a $6.2 trillion stimulus certainly didn't help anything. Okay? And I think that was Trump that did that. But through acts like that, they can increase the inflation. But where that has to take place is the president doesn't have any fucking thing to do with it. They can't do anything about it. There's nothing a president can do that can reduce inflation. Nothing. Okay? And just so people can understand what the fuck inflation actually is, let's watch a short little cartoon, shall we?
In ancient times, people used metal coins for money instead of paper, and coins made sense because a coin contained precious metal that people found valuable, like gold or silver. Think of it as $1 worth of gold being melted into $1 coin.
Yeah, sounds good to me. What's the problem?
The problem is that the Roman government decided to make more coins without actually finding more gold. They were turning the same amount of gold into even more coins.
How do you make money out of money?
Exactly the right question.
We need more coins than we have gold for. Shave off pieces of these coins and melt them down with other metals.
But if there's less gold in the coins, won't that make them worth less?
We don't pay you to ask questions.
This seems like cheating.
That's because it is, and governments do it all the time.
I understand now. When you cheat to create new money, it makes everyone else's money worth less. Look how much lighter it is.
Exactly. When the money becomes worth less, you need to use more money to buy the same things. That's called inflation.
So when $6.2 trillion is borrowed or created and put into the economy through a stimulus or whatever the fuck else, what did that do to the value of each and every individual dollar that each one of you had in your pocket? It's what just happened, what you just saw right there. And everybody wants to blame Joe. Look, Joe didn't have it, although he helped with shit as he was in the Congress and as vice president. But the reality of it is that whole thing right there, that really fucked us. Now, on top of that, you've got Russia and the other BRICS nations who've attached their currency to gold, right, that are now online. We've got all kinds of countries around the world right now that are dumping Federal Reserve notes back into the American economy, and we are seeing hyperinflation. Of course, this is all by design. This is all by design because they really want to get this new currency online. This bubble's going to blow. It can't sustain itself any longer. So what they're going to have to do is knock over the dominoes and then create this new CBDC or whatever the fuck else they've got in mind. And this is what cracks me up, is that it's still not a sound money system. Okay, it's not a sound. What backs it? There's nothing physical or tangible that backs it. When we coined our own money based on physical wealth is when we were at our strongest. It wasn't until the creation of the Federal Reserve Bank and the issuance of fiat debt currency that we started to go into the toilet, and quickly. And they couldn't wait. As soon as there was this brand new checkbook with no limit, brand new credit card with no limit, bum, 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 let's go off into the World War and have a big old good time. Man, couldn't wait to get us into fucking debt. Couldn't wait to get us into insurmountable debt. And now where are we at? What, 36, 37 trillion fucking dollars? Nobody even knows, can't even comprehend what a trillion is, much less 36 trillion. That's insane. And they just toss those ideas and numbers around like it's fucking nothing, like it actually exists. It doesn't exist anywhere. There's no reality to any of it. That's the whole thing. None of it is fucking real. And so these people are going to go out there and they're going to argue in the streets and they're going to argue on Facebook and they're going to put up their shit and tease, oh, look how dumb Donald Trump is. And look how stupid Kamala Harris is or whoever, blah, blah, blah. And they act so childish. It's so funny. It's so funny. They act so childish. But they're going to go on and on and on and on and on, back and forth, go up to the same fucking voting booths, electronic, internet connected, hackable fucking voting booths. And they're going to go in there and they're going to fucking cast their little vote and shit. And then they're going to cry and bitch about one side cheating or the other. And the same thing's going to fucking happen. And the establishment is going to put whoever the fuck that they have chosen to go in there, despite whatever you may think. Now, I think they're really going to pull the fucker on you. And they're going to put that cackling fucking jackal in there just to piss everybody the fuck off. They're like, God damn it, if this don't start the goddamn fighting, I don't know what will. That's just my own personal opinion, man. But, you know, I don't know. Tell me what you think.
In ancient times, people...
You know about what they did in ancient times. You don't know. Shut up. Let's see. What was this? This was like, oh, yeah, this is a couple days ago. Okay, I'm way back. I was in the Wayback Machine looking for that thing to show to you people. Yeah, that experiment, that gets me every time, man. That Asch experiment, that one. The Milgram experiment, that's a good one. We'll probably look into that real quick. I don't know if there's... How many of you are familiar with the Milgram experiment? Put a 1 in the chat if you know about the Milgram experiment. Put a 2 if you don't. And then I'll count them up. We'll see. And we'll go into it. Ass, grass, or cash. Nobody rides for feet. There you go, Alan. That's what I'm saying. Cackling jackal. Yeah, I mean, she is. She's just a... God damn. Could you imagine? That would be a way to torture prisoners or something if he was going to torture them. I'm seeing a mixed thing here. Okay. Yeah. Could you imagine if you had recordings of Hillary Clinton cackling and Kamala Harris cackling, and you just play it nonstop ad nauseum until they give you the information? How long do you think a prisoner would last? I don't think they'd go. All right. Well, I'll see if I can find a good thing on the Milgram experiment. Let me do that. There it is. Oh, that one's way too long. All right, here we go. This one's pretty good. This one's a decent time. Let me pull this up. Okay, so the Milgram experiment, again, would people do things regardless of morality based on the person telling them to do it? In other words, like this came born right out of the idea of in Nazi Germany of when they were going I was only following orders. Why did you commit this atrocity? I was only following orders. I was ordered to do that, right? And we see this evident in cops a lot too, is that they'll do something because they're ordered to, regardless of whether it's moral or not. So anyway, this is a little video on the Milgram experiment. We'll stop it, from time to time as we go for fair use practice. But I saw that there was about 50-50 even in the chat of people who were not familiar with the Milgram experiment. So we'll just cover that real short. And this is the thing, man. You got to understand how they fucking play you mentally from so many different angles all the time. And this is just one of them, through obedience.
It is May 1962. An experiment is being conducted in the Elegant Interaction Laboratory at Yale University. The subjects are 40 males between the ages of 20 and 50 residing in the greater New Haven area. They were obtained by a newspaper advertisement and direct mail solicitation. The subjects range in occupation from corporation presidents to good humor men and plumbers, and in educational level from one who had not finished elementary school to subjects who have doctorate and other professional degrees.
So they chose the pool of subjects from the wide spectrum of the economic socio-dynamic, Yeah, I think that's what he was explaining right there. He got even from somebody who hadn't finished school to, PhDs, blah, blah, blah.
One question, the other. Would you open those and tell me which of you is which, please? Teacher. Learner. Teacher. All right, now the next thing we'll have to do is set the learner up so that he can get some sort of punishment. So, learner, would you step out here with me, please? Do you have any questions now?
You see, the last one was just X's. The last one was just fucking X's, like it's death, right?
Before we go into the next room.
No, but I think I should say this. About 2 years ago, I was at the Veterans Hospital in West Haven.
Mm-hmm.
And while there, they detected a heart condition. There's nothing serious. But as long as I'm having these shocks, how strong are they? How dangerous are they?
Well, no, although they may be painful, they're not dangerous. Mm-hmm. Anything else?
No, that's all.
Incorrect. You'll now get a shock of 75 volts. Soft hair. He kind of did some yelling in there.
Continue.
Incorrect. You'll now get a shock of 105 volts. Hard head. Just how far can you go on this thing?
As far as is necessary.
What do you mean as far as is necessary?
To complete the test. We'll find all the words. Please continue.
I sure don't know the effect of this thing, and I'm a little skeptical about electricity.
The experiment requires that you go on, teacher. Please continue.
Incorrect. 150 volts.
Oh,
Sad face.
wait a minute. That's all. Get me out of here. I told you I had heart trouble. My heart's starting to bother me now. Get me out of here, please.
Continue.
My heart's starting to bother me. I refuse to go on. Let me out.
Look, I don't know anything about electricity. I don't profess any knowledge, nor will I go any further until I find out if the guy's okay.
All right, so he's kind of putting a red line down. He's putting a line down in the sand. He's like, all right, I'm not going to do shit anymore until I find out if that guy's okay.
It's absolutely essential that you continue.
Well, essential or not, this program isn't quite that important to me that I should go along doing something that I know nothing about, particularly if it's going to injure someone.
Wrong. It's hair. 75 volts, Jim. You don't know. Yeah, please continue. Cool. Wrong. It's head. 105 volts. I don't know. Wet. Wrong. It's horse. 150 volts.
Oh. Experimenter. That's all. Get me out of here. I told you I had heart trouble. My heart's starting to bother me now. Get me out of here, please. My heart's starting to bother me. I refuse to go on. Let me out.
Continue, teacher, please. Go on. The next word is sad.
Well, I'm not going on if he refuses to do it.
The experiment requires that you go on, teacher.
If he refuses, I won't.
Whether the learner likes it or not, we must go on until he's learned all the word
Take the check back. I'm not going to hurt the guy.
No, the check's not the issue. It's absolutely essential that you continue.
Well, he don't want to. I refuse to.
Wrong. Volts. 135. Answer woman.
I mean, who's going to take the responsibility if anything happens to that gentleman?
I'm responsible for anything that happens here. Continue.
He's like, okay, who's going to take responsibility? That's what's important to him, not that what's happening to the guy. It's like, who's going to get in trouble for this? That's our guy.
All right, next one, slow. Walk, dance, truck, music. Answer, please. Wrong. 195 volts. Dance.
The experiment requires that you
I know
continue.
it does, but that man is hollering in there, sir.
As I said before, although the shocks may be painful,
Yeah,
they're not
but I mean,
dangerous.
he's yelling in there.
Start with blue, please, at the top of the page. Continue, please, teacher.
Well, I told him we're going over it again.
No, just go ahead.
Blue. Boy. Girl, grass, hat. Correct. Nice. Day, sky, job, chair.
If in this study, an anonymous experimenter could successfully command adults to subdue a 50-year-old man and force on him painful electric shocks against his protests, one can only wonder what government, with its vastly greater authority and prestige, can command of its subjects.
So you see, it's easy through a person's perception of what they would deem to be authority. And when you think about it, that is all perception. Because what is government anyways? Governmentus. Control of the mind. Where does it actually exist? It's in a state. It's in a state here. Okay? Now, is government actually the people that are in power? No. Those people are just fucking monsters, right? And their whole thing is violence. That's when it comes right down to the root of it all, it ends up government is violence. And that's all there is to it. And you have to say to yourself, wait a second. What gives another man a right to tell me what I can and cannot have, what I can and cannot say, what I can or cannot eat, No one has a right to do any of that. None of that. You're your own. Just because you were born within some geographical location that's claimed by some gang doesn't necessarily mean that you are automatically part of their fucking gang. I didn't sign up for that bullshit, man. I didn't sign up. Yeah, I want to be part of a club that goes and starts trouble all over the fucking world. No, man. But that's exactly what people sign up for because they believe in the illusion. And why do they believe in the illusion? Because they think that consensus dictates reality. They think that consensus dictates truth. And just because everybody thinks something doesn't necessarily mean that that something is true, does it? No, not a bit. All right, on to greener pastures. No one is given dominion over anyone. That's exactly right, Raymond. Exactly right, Raymond Brady. How you doing, Butch? Ain't seen you in a long time, my man. Claim to be free, but we're always held back by government. Yes, but what is that in that government that holds us back? It's right here. We got to stop agreeing to the contract. How do we stop agreeing to the contract? We stop participating. We stop participating in it. That's how. That's how we get free of the contract. Don't agree to it. It's that simple. Real simple shit. Let me see. Where was I going here? Was that the direction I was going? Did I show this about how easy it is to fake that? Yeah, I did. Okay. Oh, this was kind of good too. A little short, but interesting. And I've seen some of these little drawings before, and they are thought-provoking, I should say. I don't know, pretty thought-provoking images, man. I've seen there's more and more of those. If you ever watch Martin Liedtke, he's got some really interesting shit like that he shows all the time. Oh, that was a little while ago. Yeah, I can't show that. Not at all. And this is what I'm talking about right here is now here is, what are they doing with these people? Here's in Los Angeles. And, we have this homeless problem. And watch what's going on. I mean, it's like, where are the people going, right? Got a skateboard with no wheels on it. Why does he have that? So where in the fuck are these people going to? They clean them up out of one place and then where do they go? Remember they cleaned up all the homeless out of San Francisco when the Chinese Winnie the Pooh came? And it's like, where the fuck are they at now? What'd they do with them? Are they taking them to these FEMA camps? I mean, where the fuck are they doing with them? I just want to know. I'm sure that you'd want to know. Everybody wants to know. Be interesting to know. Will we ever know? I doubt we're going to know. That's all. Oh, yeah. More of this Israeli shit. So this guy here said that this financial collapse has already been planned out. And this is what I've been talking about too. Now, this has got some length to it. But stay with it. This guy puts out some pretty good information. I guess this is a TikTok video, but it was put out by somebody else. And I don't do TikTok too often because I don't like it. Okay. That's just, I'm going to be straight up. They're little, it's irritating. It's like digital ADHD. It's really hard to, I don't know. I just don't like it. I guess I'm in one of those ages where I say, you damn kids in your fucking, what do they call it? 8-track rock and roll music, crazy bastards. So anyway, this guy's saying this, and I've been saying this. Burn the Corporate Fiction's been saying this. So pay attention.
This year they're gonna pop the biggest financial bubble in all of history, and I think I know why. Let's start by talking to our good buddy Fred. If you don't know, Fred is the official website from the Federal Reserve where they publish all kinds of official economic data. And Fred can tell you a lot of things. Like, for example, that US GDP, the total value of all the stuff that the US makes that's real, is going up slowly, and that US debt is skyrocketing. This is not news to anyone that has eyes. I mean, we've all seen the meme of Jerome Powell and his money printer by now. No matter how you slice it, money's just getting printed. They measure the total money in the system in different ways. They call them M1, M2, M3. M1 is a particularly cute chart. M2 includes more theoretical money that's just numbers in other screens. And so that spike in 2020 is not quite as intense because it has more factors involved. But no matter what you look at, the money supply is going to the moon. But you know what else is going to the moon? Derivatives exposure. Again, GDP is on this chart in green because it's not changing at all, really, while derivatives are skyrocketing. Derivative is the financial term for like placing bets that are just arbitrary that we make up ourselves, not like buying a stock and the stock's value goes up because the company's value goes up. Derivatives are people in the financial institutions or just you and me making bets based upon other things. Like, I bet JP Morgan stock will be worth this much more on that day. I'll put $1,000 on it, which sounds legit because it's, people make bets, but it allows for huge amounts of leverage in the system. Because JP Morgan stock might go up by $1, but we might have bets that mean that changes our bets by hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Although in the real world, we're talking millions and billions of dollars. It's an extremely complex topic, but just so you know what we're talking about here, the top 3 financial institutions in the United States are currently sitting on $50 trillion worth of derivative bets each. This chart is in millions of dollars. So 49 million is $49 trillion. And if you notice their assets column, Goldman Sachs is sitting on $47 trillion of derivatives, and they don't even have $500 billion of actual assets to back up all those bets. Because, when you make a bet, the other side is like, okay, but how do I know you're good for it? And you're like, well, check out my nice car. Right? Like, the car is your asset that backs up the money that you're promising to pay. So yeah, they're sitting on 100-to-1 leverage right there. And a lot of economists have termed this the everything bubble for good reason, because as all this money got pumped into the system, it skyrocketed the value of stocks, just all stocks.
And how did it get pumped into the system? We just discussed that.
Cryptocurrencies, you name it. But we've also seen huge rises in things like mortgage-backed securities. This is since 2010. These are the things that caused the 2008 housing collapse. Yeah, they're on the up. Oh, and so are student loan asset-backed securities. A security is like a slice of pie where you like put a whole bunch of debts or a whole bunch of things into a pool and you slice it up into little slices and then you sell pieces of it as investments. Like, a company gets sliced up and they sell shares of the company as stocks. Those are securities. So student loan asset-backed securities means when they take everyone's student loans, put them all that debt into a big pool, then they slice it up into little slices, and then they sell those slices as securities so you can make money off of collective student loan debt. Well, let's be real. You can't make money off of it because you don't know how to do this, but they make money off of it. I think this chart shows the phenomenon a little bit more clearly because
basically they're just making money and then making money out of that money. Okay, so it's all still just as fictitious, but oh wow, this is really a scam.
It's a new thing. This is what we call financial innovation, folks. Oh, but they're also doing it to your car loans too, obviously, which are at record highs right now. But also consumer credit card debt is also at record highs. And you all already know this shit. We all know that we're fucked. But the point is that right now, everything's fucked all at once. And the stock market's insane pump over the last decade or two. And a huge amount of that value in the market is actually just derivative value of made up money, of bets propping everything up with fake money that's not actually real, just making everything look like it's really valuable. Because in the financial world, if everyone's making side bets on Apple going up, that increases Apple's value because everyone's hyped. Apple stock goes up, everyone gets more hyped, they make more side bets that Apple stock will go up.
Don't believe the hype.
You see what I'm saying there? Just if you hadn't looked closely and read yet, that line says 600 trillion. But some estimates put derivative exposure in the quadrillions, which is a stupid number. And I phrase it that way because we don't actually know the size of the market because over-the-counter derivatives are not regulated and they have very lenient reporting standards, thanks to a certain guy that we'll talk about in a second. And all of this has been carefully executed by a small set of financial executives and power people who love to act like they don't understand the basics of.
She's hot. You got to admit, she's hot. That's that blue dress. She's rocking that blue dress.
Inflation and the economy. And they just could never have predicted the situation that we find ourselves in, but have convenient resumes of being total stooges for the Federal Reserve, despite now working for the government, because those two organizations are not. Or the chair of the Fed, who is the master of, I just didn't know printing money would cause inflation. Because I'm sure Jerome Powell did not understand the most basic facts about how money works when George H.W. Bush named him Undersecretary of the Treasury in 1992. So to clarify, he went from the private sector working for investment banks to the public sector working for the government, back to the private sector working for the Carlyle Group during the Iraq War. There's no rabbit hole to be done on that whole can of shit. And now back to the public sector in charge of the Federal Reserve. Or is that the private sector? I'm not really.
See, that's the thing. And it's just like that with the fucking FDA. The people that work there work over at Monsanto, and then they come back and they work at the FDA. Any one of these heads of the FDA, you find that they either have come out of the big corporations, or that there's that the FDA is supposed to be defending you against. I mean, it's just a big revolving door. It's fucking sick. Same thing with this shit. The regulatory agencies are all just staffed with people from the banks that are working in the interest of the banks and not in the interest of the American economy. This is it.
Clear on that one. And then, of course, the guy that's in charge of regulating the whole thing, Gary Gensler, the chair of the Securities Exchange Commission, which is like the financial regulatory institution of the United States. Well, he worked at Goldman Sachs for 18 years before taking the little revolving door into the government, where he's worked for Goldman Sachs ever since, to be clear. But back in the turn of the century, Gensler worked with Lawrence Summers to push for passing the Commodity Futures Modernization Act, which exempted over-the-counter derivatives from regulation. These over-the-counter derivatives that are currently worth hundreds of trillions of dollars of unchecked, Lord knows what kind of leverage. He also did a stellar job of specifically failing to regulate the crypto industry in very suspect-looking ways, going after every legitimate actor except for the dude that broke everything, who totally didn't have weird ties to, never mind. In case you didn't know, in the build-up to 2008, the big boys knew what was coming because they were the ones inflating that bubble, and they popped it at a very specific time with very specific actions. And they timed it very specifically to bring in our Lord and Savior, Barack Obama, who promised to regulate the banks. And that did not go well. And today, the situation is 10 times worse. And the whole world is 10 times as fucked. And throughout all of history, there's only one thing that solves major economic crises on a global scale. But this time, a global war isn't enough to fix it, because it's not just a global economic crisis. It's a currency collapse. And all throughout history, a currency collapse leads to the rise of a new currency. And who have you heard talking an awful lot over the last year about introducing a new kind of currency that's going to make the world a much better place? And if we're being honest, it's looking more and more like in 2024, they're either going to let Trump win or do something really shady to make the election not happen. Because they're actually trying to run 80-whatever-year-old Biden against him. And what better time to pop the largest financial bubble in all of human history than right before you let Trump have office again? Just think about it.
Or in this case, the other puppet. It doesn't matter. In this case,
they're going to pop the big.
Which I have to wonder, what the fuck are they actually doing, right? What are they actually doing? What is actually occurring? I mean, we know that this is a show, but what's the end game? What is the end game? I mean, anybody out there? What is the end game? I mean, here it is. We've got this shit in Israel. Now, Iran was supposed to attack Israel last night, and their last night has already come and gone. And I haven't heard anything about an attack. Duffy 2024. Yeah, right. Sure. There you go. I'll tell you what, it don't matter. It doesn't matter. They're going to go on with what they're going to go on. So I don't know. You got that going. And of course, Israel, they have this thing called the Samson option. Now, the Samson option means that if they get threatened, if their existence gets threatened, they're just going to take out the whole fucking Middle East. Okay. I don't believe they have the power to do that. Okay. Because if they did, they would have already done it. It's Israel. Come on. We know how they work. So they would have already done it. So what is actually going on? You tell me. I think that that's one of the best ways when the economy is getting like this is they try to pour in more debt. They try to pour in more debt just like they have in the past. And they do that through warfare. Okay. It also is a good distraction from the people. It's a good thing to blame the poor economy on. Oh, it's because we're deprived about having a war. And yeah. So that's where I'm at with, what are we actually doing? What in the world are we actually doing? England right now, this is crazy. This guy, and this is nuts. People getting, the guy was being arrested for comments he made on Facebook. This is crazy. This is, they don't, just 2024 in the UK still does not have free speech. I guess they're going ape shit over there. I'm worried kind of about my friend, Michael over there, Michael Kahn. He was right in one of those cities where they're rioting. You might have seen him in my chats, and he shows up on Flatoids all the time. He wasn't there today, and I was wondering if he's okay, because this is starting to get really crazy. I mean, this is almost like a bad dream. Look at this shit. Watch this shit.
Okay, so
What do you mean I can't have any alcohol?
okay, well, I'll tell you. Okay, the time's 20 to 3, 14:40. I'm arresting you on suspicion of improper use of the Electronic Communications Network. I'm just
What?
127 Communications Act, okay? So you do not have to say that it may harm your defence if you don't mention one question, something which you later rely in court. Anything you do say may be given evidence. Do you understand that?
So I'm actually being
You're
arrested.
going to be arrested, okay?
Right,
Take
and-
you up to the police station.
Right.
Ask you, okay, this is in relation to some comments that you've made on a Facebook page.
Oh, really? Oh, it's a Facebook crime, is it?
Okay.
Right.
So we need to ask you some questions about that.
Right.
Have you got anything in your pockets?
Now think about that. You make a Facebook post and they come and arrest you for it. I can't speak pig. Is what, Brian? What's happening, Brian Stabley? What's going on, brother? Roger and Duffy. Oh, now you're a ticket. Good job, Roger. Hell yeah.
I've got my keys. I got. No, it's made it. I think keys.
So, anyone who's been arrested, we can search them under Section 32 of Decent Criminal Act.
Right.
And that's for dangerous items.
I mean, you said I was going to be arrested under some what information? I'm going to be arrested for posting on Facebook.
Some comments that are offensive, obscene, and people have made a complaint about that, and it's.
And can you tell me what this comment was?
Okay, well, we'll do that when we interview.
Because someone was offended. Someone was fucking offended. Who gives a shit?
All right. And so, what am I going to be locked up for the night, or?
Well, hopefully not.
Right. Do I need to
Unless
take
you
my
film
medications
us.
with me?
Yes, we will look at taking all of those.
When do you need to take them?
Well, I've got pain medications. I've got sleeping medication. I've got anxiety medications, which I might take one of those in a bit. Okay. You know.
Well, if we take everything with us, then you've got everything there, haven't you?
And then we've got a nurse up there. They'll be able to.
Okay.
They'll be able to come and see
They're
you,
getting
and
ready.
then once you've been there,
They're gonna go up his butt. That's why they put them gloves on. Why does your bitch's gloves not match? What's up?
can assess whether or not medication can be issued. All right. So what we're going to do is, if you want to pop yourself up, we're just going to search.
You need the glasses.
Yeah, search you.
To come with you.
My glasses.
Yeah. Do you want to take them with you?
What in the fuck? How do you get arrested for making a Facebook post? I mean, for fucking real, man. With that England, they're getting bad, man. Things are getting bad over there. And I mean, we're just in total clown world here. We're in total clown world here. What's going on, Jam? Jam Mangoo? What's up, bro? Hello. You there, cuz? Alrighty then. If you must be muted or you don't have a microphone or something going on. I'll give you a couple more seconds. Maybe you need to pop back out and pop back in. Why don't we try that? We'll try that. I mean, we got Nancy fucking Pelosi. Listen to this crazy bitch. I can't believe they even have this old decrepit thing in the fucking Capitol. But listen to what she said. This was nuts.
In a good place to make whatever decision, the top of his game. Such a consequential president of the United States, a Mount Rushmore kind of president of the United States. Want to know what comes next.
That he belongs up there on Mount Rushmore. Lincoln and Joe Biden.
But you got Teddy Roosevelt up there, and he's wonderful. I don't say take him down, but you can add Biden in a good place to make whatever decision, the top of his game. Such a consequential president of the United States, a Mount Rushmore kind of president of the United States. Want to know what comes next.
That he belongs up there on Mount Rushmore. Lincoln and Joe Biden.
But you got Teddy Roosevelt up there, and he's wonderful. I don't say take him down, but you can add Biden in a good place to make whatever decision, the top of his game. Such a consequential president of the United States, a Mount Rushmore kind of president of the United States. Want to know what comes next.
That he belongs up there on Mount Rushmore. Lincoln and Joe Biden.
But you got Teddy Roosevelt up there, and he's wonderful. I don't say take him down, but you can add Biden in a good place.
Put Biden up there. Put Biden up in the fucking Mount Rushmore. Okay, right? What the fuck? Jam, are you there? What I'm going to do is I'm going to kick you, and then you come back on and see if we can get you to some sound or something from there, okay? All right. There we go. I don't know. I was having trouble. Couldn't get any sound. Try it again. I can't believe that. And people, you see, this is the thing. They rely on you believing what you're told by, and the your perception of where the information is coming from. And through their own hubris, they think that they're really important and that people really take to heed what they say. So she comes out there and says that shit and believes everybody wants to, everybody's going to just go along with it. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I think that they're not counting on the fact that a lot of people are not buying into their bullshit like they were. I mean, there was a time, I think, that more people did. I think, yeah, well, I don't know. Was it founded? Was it created? Who knows? Might be made out of paper mache. And how did Dr. Evil get his fucking base inside that thing? That's what I want to know. I mean, that's crazy. So this is just a little fun break thing. This is something I was thinking about the other day. We were laughing about this. And it's with the English language. This is why it's so difficult. Watch this.
So this word is
ought,
which means this word is
thought,
which means this word is
thaw.
No, it's though. You don't see how. Oh, that's why.
Okay.
Which means this word is.
It'd be toe.
No, tough. You don't see how. Off. Oh. See the difference?
Okay.
Which means this word would be
cuff.
No, it's cough. You know, so off. That's why.
Okay.
So obviously this word would be.
So it'd be cough with a D. Doff?
No, it's dough. Remember what I said earlier? Oh, dough.
Yup.
So now that you know that, this word would be.
Drought?
No.
I mean, draught?
No.
Drut?
No, it's drought. You don't see how. Ow, drought. Remember, just because they're spelt the same doesn't mean they sound the same.
And somehow we learn that and we fucking.
So this word is.
Bypass it. And when you really look at how fucking silly that actually is, you start going, what in the fuck? Holy cow. Yeah, Gallagher did a good skit on that too. Yes, he did, Raymond. Absolutely. Yeah, man. This was pretty good. I don't know if you guys know Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin, he's going off on Kamala. Trying to act black. And this is funny. And that's what I'm going to say. This woman's got superpowers, man. She can change ethnicity at will. Oh, there was a private chat. I didn't see it. What had happened? Let's see. I did let you in, man. You just fucking didn't say anything, bro. I don't know. Anyway, Eddie Griffin, he's savage. I like this guy.
Rights are on the line. Our Supreme Court is on the line. Our basic freedoms are being tested, Madam VP. I know you've been traveling across the country. What are you hearing?
Yeah, girl, I'm out here in these streets. And let me...
You're lying, bitch. You out in these streets. Oh, so all of a sudden you black again because it's election season. They need a nigga. So, I'm out in these streets. What streets are you in? Huh? What streets? You out in the streets with your white husband, huh? The streets. Yeah, because you harder and still getting harder. Madam VP, you understand me? You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm out in these streets. You know what I mean? I'm a hustler, supreme. I'm in the streets, goddammit. I'm hitting the pavement, agitating the gravel. You know what I'm saying? I'm kicking rocks like a motherfucker.
streets. And let me tell you, you're right, Taraji. There is so much at stake in this moment. The majority of us believe in freedom and equality. But these extremists, as they say, they're not like us.
No, they not.
Yeah, look at this bitch. They not like us. Kendrick, kick her in the head. Kick her in the head for even using your goddamn legs. They not like you. Ain't like us either, bitch. Well, how about that? Hold on. They will take anything and use it as a slogan to try to get them votes, boy. Then they try to this black bitch out. and turn her into a nigga once again. That's how he won the last time. Got the black vote because they got the black woman. But this bitch, she ain't black at all. I don't know what she is, but you think she ain't no nigga. I know that much. Yeah, you know, she got a white husband. Because, you know, she's so down. She's so down with us that she married a white boy. Like a majority of these mayors and female senators that are black. All of them got white husbands.
You don't fuck around. There's Jam Mango. Did you get your microphone and shit worked out yet?
Hey, can you hear me now, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear me now, yes?
Yeah, we can hear you. So what's your take on all this clown
Perfect.
shit?
I'm glad to be here, guys. You just started the show, or you're already 2 hours almost online?
I've been on
Whoa,
hour and
nice.
45 minutes. Hour and 45 minutes.
2 hours already, yeah? So,
Almost. Yep.
well, what's your topic?
We're just talking about all the clown act shit in the world, kind of free flowing everything
man.
here.
Yeah.
The destruction and unrest that's happening in, I guess Ireland and England.
Everything
From
is
what I
freaking
understand,
out,
it's
yes,
happening in
alright.
Germany, but we're not hearing about it happening in Germany. But I don't know.
You know, how can I call you? So,
What do you mean?
in short,
Oh, you can just call me Saf. That's fine. So where are you from?
remember Mike?
Saf? Yeah, maybe. Where are you at,
I'm from
Jam?
Austria.
Austria.
You know.
Is there any problems going
you
on there?
remember Mike?
Mike who?
Yeah.
Mike who?
Oh, it's mostly police state, it's not very likely to go out, and you can't sit down anywhere or something, it's everywhere the same, It's no more
Are you guys
social,
having? Have they
social
brought?
connections,
Have they brought you? Have they brought a lot of migrants into your area? Because that's what most of these protests are about. And I guess it started from some violence that erupted from migrants that have been overwhelming cities in England. I know that we're having migrants coming in all over the place here in the United States as well. But
Where you mean?
Go ahead.
We have
Sorry.
a lot of migrants. Yes. We have a lot. You remember Merkel? Angela Merkel?
Yeah, Angela Merkel. Hitler's
She
daughter.
makes a lot of them.
Well, see, that's the whole thing. I think that a lot of the countries in Europe that were once sovereign under themselves, as soon as they joined into this European Union, they ceded their sovereignty over to a central power in Brussels. And now they're seeing the backlash of those policies.
Other people are strong.
So I think that's a big thing. Another thing I was just going to cover. We're just kind of going over all
the next shit is the EU shit, with the NATO. It's not good for us, Before we were little countries that is not so likely to manage, but now they all pair us together, and make the same money and shit with the euro, and it's not good for us.
Well, listen to what this is the let's see, where did I get this? This is
they try it everywhere.
Prime Minister of England. He had this to say, and this is good. It relates directly to that clip we saw of the guy getting arrested for a Facebook post. And this is what they've got going on. Listen to what this guy's got saying. This is crazy.
Okay.
Be in no doubt, those that have participated in this violence will face the full force of the law. The police will be making arrests, individuals will be held on remand, charges will follow, and convictions will follow. I guarantee you will regret taking part in this disorder, whether directly or those whipping up this action online and then running away themselves. This is not protest. It is organized, violent thuggery, and it has no place on our streets or online.
No place on our streets or online. So if you even say anything against those policies or against the migrants being there online, and they deem it to go against whatever their policy is, they can just arrest you. That's sweet. Then, of course, we had Joe Biden had this to say about
Yeah,
Kamala.
that's a big problem here too. You have to stay in line, you know.
Well, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I will say what I'm
I'm
going
not
to say.
that guy, but do this.
I say what I'm going to say. I do, and that's all there is to it. It's like if
No,
I'm sorry if you deem what I say as
say
dirty words, but
what I am,
come
you know.
from
So
I come from a generation of, sticks and stones may break my bones,
Yeah.
but names will never
And-
hurt me.
and where are you in Canada? So
No, I'm in the United States.
USA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So
United
this is what
States.
Joe Biden had to say about Kamala here recently.
Yeah, you have the rally now. Yes, the election.
Yeah, it's a selection. I don't participate.
Yeah,
Joe
Biden.
That's like asking me, would you rather be shot in the face with a 357 Magnum or a 44?
Do you believe this with Trump?
Oh, I think Trump's
like bullshit, no?
Yeah, I mean, how did his ear heal up like that? He lied to everybody, and nobody calling him out on it. He lied. He said, I got shot in the ear. Right? He lied.
I mean, if I get shot, the first thing what I wanna do is I run for my life. Yes.
Well, not just that. I mean, the whole thing was a stage production. But how did his ear heal up? I mean, it's not even a mark. Nothing. Gone. And nobody's even going, hey, man,
Yeah.
how'd your fucking ear heal up like that? They just go along with him,
I from the far I see it the same. So.
Mhm. So here's what Joe Biden had to say on this recent stock market crash. So
Over $1 trillion, $200 billion.
Somebody help him.
there he is. That's our commander in chief, president of the United
Yes.
States, Joseph
Yes.
Robinette Biden. Robinette. What the fuck kind of a middle name is that? That is so girly.
I'm really scared to say that he's the baddest president, because I think it's gonna come another one.
Now I'm going to show here again. That's not the one. Where's the one with Kamala? And it's gibberish, but it's also. Oh, this is funny. I got to show this to y'all. This is funny. Y'all ever watched Ralphie May? This is funny as shit. I got to bring this. I'm sorry. I know I'm jumping all over the place, but what the fuck? This is funny as hell because they really pushed this whole gay thing. This is from a couple years ago. Ralphie May was an American comic, and I believe he died. I think his weight.
So you remember Mike?
No.
No, you don't remember. Okay.
I don't know who you're talking about. I know a lot of people named Mike.
I know. No, it's okay. I'm just his brother. You know, we was talking one time.
Oh, okay. All right. I know who. Yeah. All right.
You remember?
Yeah. I remember you now. So this is Ralphie May. This was funny as shit. I laughed. He said, "It's good. I want my rainbow back."
Something like that you can't find in Austria in the TV.
No?
No, you can't. You can't.
What? I wonder why. Are you guys like really?
No, we are really like the most greatest losers when it comes to social. I think we were on the list on first place. The biggest assholes in the world.
Well, you know, it's like it's tightly controlled. You know, that's obvious.
But that's really no lie. Yes, I read it and it's really crazy. Yeah, sure.
This is kind of interesting too regarding the firmament.
And now it's multi-culti, you know, multi-culti now. You know, you understand?
I gotta do dog maintenance, so I'm gonna show this video real quick. This is something that really irritates the shit out of the Globetards, and that's any discussion of the firmament, right? It's like, no, because that takes away all their fucking space bullshit, right?
The firmament.
For technological advancement. This 100-page declassified document from the CIA library, approved for release in the year 2000, includes doctoral dissertations defended in the Scientific Council of the Institute of Physics of the Atmosphere and Institute of Applied Geophysics in the USSR. In it, we find detailed descriptions of experimentation sponsored by the Academy of Sciences of the Soviet Union, most notably atmospheric studies on light scattering. They list several methods and tools used to determine the differences in luminosity of the firmament, mentioning it by name on page 18. Page 19 is where it gets good. We have the mention of a near-sun halo in the opening lines. And then the kicker? This dissertation contains a certain formula of the brightness of the sky, taking into consideration only the brightness of the first order, and derived on the assumption of a flat Earth, and giving conclusions derived on the basis of this formula. And again, on this same page, the author makes a distinction between the sky and the firmament. Quote, a method is also proposed of determining the brightness of the clear daylight sky at any point based on measuring the brightness along the Almancator of the sun and of 5 to 6 points on the firmament located at various zenith distances. I'm Wes.
What do you think about that, man?
Really crazy. So they don't know a shit about it, not? And then you see something like that. Man, crazy.
So all these people talking about Trump and his Christian values, these people are all the time with their Christian this and Christian that, right? Watch this shit. What are you doing with that little hat? What are you doing up there humping that wall? Why are you always up there humping that wall? They're all in that. Hillary.
Like the world, the belief system.
Pope. The fucking Pope. Look. The fucking Pope.
Yes, it's sad. My mom would turn in her grave.
Mitt Romney, Mike Pompeo, Vladimir Putin, Emmanuel Macron, Ron DeSantis, Lionel Messi, George Herbert Walker Bush, George W. Bush,
Good
Joe
support.
Lieberman, John McCain. Look at this, man. Every one of these fucking guys are in this club, man.
Underground, everything is connected, mostly.
So you can see why the Zionist agenda marches along no matter where you are in the world. The same
Yes,
bullshit
yes.
is being run on you everywhere.
But that's so true, so
You know, you're not it's been, and this is what tells me that this is not a plan set forth by any mortal men, because the plan takes longer than any man's lifespan can reach in order to see it come to fruition, right? So these people, they put all their effort and their endeavors into this final outcome with no hope of ever being alive, right? Or you'd think. This is why I think that there's some like transgenerational transference of
No
whatever
hope, man.
entity is possessing them. That's just my own personal belief. I think that they have
They've
transgenerational.
taken all good from the people, no?
Well, yeah, like an entity that possesses them, kind of like in Stargate, right? Where you had the Goa'uld, and they were a parasitic organism that lived inside of a human host. And
We're in the middle of Babylon, man.
So I think that's, and I think some kind of an entity is possessing a lot of these. I think they're soulless beings. I really do. Just basically hosts that are bred to harness in demonic.
You're so right. You're
beings.
so right.
You know, like homunculi of some kind.
I'm really sad for our children, you know. They are so programmed, and it's so sad.
Well, and we do it to them. We do it to them because we take our own programming and put it into our children, and then we send them off, because it's what everybody does. We send them off to government institutions
We
that
should set
indoctrinate
back
the
off
children.
to the government, not that.
Well, yeah, absolutely, is just disregard, and all it takes is just a complete fucking non-participation. Just disregard them. Stop. That's all. It doesn't mean do bad shit. Nobody wants to do bad shit. Nobody wants to hurt other people. Nobody wants to steal other people's shit. And they're not the people that, and they don't stop that kind of thing anyways.
No,
There's no government institution that prevents crime.
in a peace way. That would be great.
I mean, for real, do the police prevent crime? No, they're a reactionary force. They only come when there's crime. In order for them to be proactive, they have to violate everybody's rights. You understand? So it's like, here's the deal.
You saw it on Corona, no?
Freedom is dangerous, but it's also our natural state, right? But anyway, you remember we were showing earlier how Camilla says this word speak nonsense shit, right? But this is actually right out of the Communist Manifesto. This is pretty crazy. Listen to this guy. I caught that earlier.
You really got an echo. I don't know if it's normal for you.
I don't think
anybody.
Hold on. Anybody out there hearing an echo? You might have me on two different programs. You have YouTube open as well? If you do, that's probably what's happening. I'm not getting an echo, and I haven't seen anybody in the chat talking.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. No echo from Dave. Okay, so Dose of Reality said. But anyway, listen to this guy.
Something that is fairly disturbing. You all need to hear this. Spread it around. That word salad that Kamala's always repeating, we can see what can be by unburdening what has been. I thought that was mumbo gibberish, just her talking out of her ass, and it is not. That is a communist manifesto quote. That was what Mao was saying when he destroyed the 4 pillars of early Chinese culture. What it means is that to create a socialist utopia, one must destroy the history of that country. She is openly talking about destroying and erasing our country to create a new socialist utopia. This is incredibly dangerous and just incredibly ignorant. I'm blown away. I'm blown away that we've all been played thinking that she is just some complete idiot. But for her to be saying that shit out loud, that is an open... She is broadcasting that to the other communists of what she is and what she believes, and it has gone right over a bunch of our heads. This is horrible. This
is really horrible.
Something that is fairly
and it sets our what we only know. You know, they do much more shit than we know.
Nobody considers the third option, right? What's the third option?
The third
option is you don't participate.
Would be to just leave them, to don't play with them.
If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice, right? 100%, man.
Of course, and you would make the right choice. 100%.
So, what's your views on the mud flood?
On mud flood?
Yeah.
I really believe in something like a reset. You know what the Earth is going through. I hope that it's like a natural happening and not people innovating something.
Well, it does seem to point at, either one huge cataclysm or maybe even a series of cataclysms over a span of time. But there are definite changes in the topography, I believe, and in the weather in the last 500 years, I would have to say. Definite changes. Yeah. So I don't know. This is an interesting little thing that I found on it.
And it's also, I'm not sure if this is the first reset, Dave.
It could be,
but I don't know,
It could be a series of resets for all we know.
Yeah.
For all we know, this this could happen every 200 years, or really, as far as we know, every 100 years. I mean, in all reality, how much of your own life's history do you actually know? I mean, how do you know you didn't just arrive here with an implanted backstory and memories? That would be weird, right? Like you just arrived here today.
Our lifetime window, not everything.
What if right now, today was your first actual day? What if today was your actual first day of existence and all of your memories and everything else are all implanted? That would be fucking crazy, right? How would you know?
Crazy.
The mud flood is actually a worldwide earthquake. An earthquake that was so powerful.
I don't want to know where they're at with that cloning shit.
Usually we don't start talking when there's a video playing.
And holding shit.
You good?
Okay, that's okay. So.
Right.
The mud flood is actually a worldwide earthquake, an earthquake that was so powerful that it liquefied the soil and civilization sunk, destruction all around the whole realm. Think about like the Roman ruins. The Roman ruins had to be dug up. They had to be excavated. Easter Island and like the Moai statues, there was a time where people thought they were just heads. And then it was very recently, people said, guess what? They have bodies. And in some cases, the bodies go 20 feet underground. Said you go look around the Middle East, there's some gate in Iraq, ancient Babylon. The gate is like 25 feet tall, and it's literally buried under the ground in the 1850s. They had to dig it up. That is insane. I mean, that is insane. Like, go Göbekli Tepe. I think they said they only excavated about 5% of this place. Again, 20-foot tall megaliths under the ground. So what the modern archaeology says, their best theory is somebody buried their own temple. What? Buried everything? Evenly. Like, it's literally completely under the ground. It's not like a pyramid where people could actually cover up stuff and then there would still be a mound. It's like even across the world. Who does that? No one. Never. Why? Then you go to modern cities. And I think this is when it gets the craziest, is there's stuff buried around modern cities. Evidence that basements are like halfway under the street. They're basements, but they're really not basements because there's windows that are kind of at ground level and sometimes slightly below ground level. And then sometimes they brick them up. Sometimes the street goes up with the building. Like the windows literally disappear as the street goes up. That's weird.
We've got some here in Luray that are like that.
There's underground parts of every major city around the United States. Underground Atlanta, underground Portland, underground Sacramento, underground Seattle.
I love that. Solar was one time in Prague.
Mm-hmm.
And Prague, you see very much of these buildings where you see the sink, where you see the little windows.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I lived in Frankfurt, Germany for 2 years, man.
Okay.
So I've seen that there. It's like all over the place. There in Frankfurt, Germany,
all over the place.
Here in Virginia,
like you say.
All right, check this out.
West Coast cities with undergrounds, highly suspect. They seriously have built their cities upon older cities. What we're told is the people before us were more primitive than us. Obviously, they don't have the advanced excavating equipment and all that stuff. And yet it was very common back in the day to build things underground. Wouldn't it be harder to do that without all the heavy equipment we have now?
Yeah.
But we don't do that now for some reason. When if you think you're more advanced than the previous civilization,
today.
Well, it'd be likely that you could do the same things, except you could do it faster and cheaper because you have better equipment, right? You got better tools. But they don't do that. So I think that's what leads us to believe that we are on the other side. We are on the wrong side of the peak of civilization.
You got to wonder all that stuff underground.
Mud flood.
Now,
very
for
interesting.
people that don't understand, real quick, for people that don't understand what liquefaction is, I'm going to show you a real quick demonstration so you can understand what it is. All right.
Some of the buildings, they can't even renovate them or keep them intact because they are built so difficult.
Now watch.
In Berlin, there was one building at the Hauptbahnhof, at the train station, and they destroyed the whole building, but they couldn't. They were just not able to recover the building,
See how it starts turning to liquid just because of the vibration. Look at that. Look at that.
Yes. Yes.
Now, when working with concrete, when you're working with concrete, your concrete starts to set up. You can put this big vibrator thing onto it, and it soups it right back out just by vibrating it. And that's liquefaction. There's other examples of it.
I'm more on this side that this is a natural phenomenon.
Yeah, watch here. During an earthquake in Japan. Okay, this is during an earthquake in Japan.
Oh, crazy. These earthquakes are crazy. Yeah.
Ground underneath that time. Look at that. The whole ground is just it's like liquid now.
I also have to say maybe it's something with frequency in the world. These earthquakes. I don't know.
Look at that sidewalk moving. That fucking sidewalk is moving, man.
Yeah.
Look at now the liquid's coming up out of the ground. Look. Water's above and the water's below. What?
What the hell? This was early, no?
Oh, look at that.
Oh, I also would run.
How would you escape something like that, right? I mean, think about that. How would you escape something like that? I mean, if that was happening,
You don't know where to run, you know?
Yeah, there's nowhere to go, really.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. That's where she was just at. That road and shit's turned into a river. Look at this coming up out of the fucking road there.
That's really crazy, yes. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, that could be.
We
Now,
don't
imagine
control
that
the
on a-
nature.
that
The
was-
nature controls us. That's just
That-
how it
that
ever
didn't-
was.
That didn't seem to be a very big earthquake either. I mean, I didn't see a whole lot of shaking or anything else like that. And nevertheless, that liquefaction can cause all kinds of damage. Just those minor tremors, one after the other, one after the other, one
Yeah.
after the other, like that. You know, cause the foundations of shit to start sinking and
Yeah.
God, yeah. Mm. So
You
what
know,
a
that's
lot
very
happened.
interesting.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, you gotta.
I had my first earthquake in Taiwan where I was 3 years, and I was just moving with the chair in the whole apartment. I was rolling with the chair, and I was so upset about it.
Oh, this was funny.
Yeah.
This woman right here. Now, this is the thing with politics. It's so funny because I've never seen people act so childish as I do with politics. And it is because it is all just like a belief system. It's like my my fictitious character is better than your fictitious character. It's funny as shit. But this woman, I cracked me up what she had to say. This was funny. I have to show this.
Voting for Kamala after getting rid of Joe is like shitting your pants and then changing your shirt.
And I have to say that even voting for another politician after having all the politicians we've had is about the same thing. It's like changing your shirt after shitting your pants, right?
Right.
I mean, that's just ridiculous. Like some new, well, this time it's going to be this time will be it. I know this time it'll be it. This time when we put our guy in, it's going to be it. But this guy Rankin, I got this. I got a thing I'll play here in a little bit.
No, and how they built the buildings, also in Japan, with this fucking huge, so they can move around on the fucking floor, It's really crazy what they're pushing into this, of knowledge.
So
they really built different buildings than we built around in our areas, So in Austria, don't have to build like in Japan this real big towers, which mostly can roll sidewards and frontwards and backwards. You understand me? So.
Cryptrick says that voting someone else will change everything. Didn't you know? Yeah, of course it will.
No. I just say how they build it. This is really, really. They thought about it. It really could hold a big earthquake. It's really crazy, insane how much they can move. Yes.
Yeah, a lot of those places do.
Yeah.
Survive, a lot of cataclysmic. I think there's probably more below those. I wanted to ask you, Jam, do you know who Dave Chappelle is?
Who that guy is?
A comedian named Dave Chappelle.
Dave for sure know him, yeah, for sure.
Okay,
he's a clone.
Right.
He's a clone.
Yeah, he probably is. This is pretty funny though.
He was a complete other human before,
Yeah.
He changed
this was pretty funny though. I thought this was pretty good.
Okay, nice to yeah. Strange a bit.
The magic was he implicated himself in it as well. That's what was so amazing.
Yes, and you got Trump now, and who is the other? You can choose.
I guess it's going to be Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris, okay, woman, okay.
Yeah.
Against Trump, okay. She's on the blue corner.
She used to be a hooker.
She's on the blue corner or on the red one?
Yeah, she's in the blue.
In the blue and Trump in the red, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I understand the system a little less. And more you don't have to choose.
One's a left-hand sock puppet, and the other one's a right-hand sock puppet.
Yeah, sure. That's crazy. This two system. I mean, we have more systems, you can choose, but it doesn't change.
Well, it doesn't matter who votes. It's who
it
counts.
Doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. So
it's who counts the vote. We saw that last time, right?
Yeah.
Snowman, what's up,
Action
Snowman?
In our town, and they are doing so much shit. Hi, Snowman.
What's up, dog?
Welcome.
Your sound sucks. Yeah, popularity contest. That's right, Raymond. Right on. Oh, both owned by the same people. Yeah, we saw that, right? Didn't we just look at a video where there was a number of presidents?
Jump back in.
All right, go ahead. But we just saw a thing, and we saw presidents from both sides of the aisle, so to speak, all wearing the little beanie, hanging out there, humping that wall in Jerusalem. What's up with that, right? Well, you know what's up with it. And if you want to know who controls you, just look at who you're not supposed to criticize.
And probably.
No, how are you doing?
I mean the whole Schwab thing and Rothschild and no question, but this is just puppets what we can see, you know.
You don't want to eat bugs and be happy?
No, I said I'm the.
How come? I thought everybody wanted to eat bugs and be happy.
That's what I wanted to say.
I want to eat a bug and be happy.
I wouldn't have so much problems with it. I mean, I would need some time.
Some cricket paste on a tofu cracker. Baby, now you're talking. Ooh, stop talking like that, man. You get me worked up.
When you're hungry, so and I don't think it's so a thing.
First, see now because of my bong rip and the amount of time that's elapsed, I forgot what this video is.
Yes, enjoy it, so you know. But
here it goes. Here we go. Good luck.
The already.
Oh yeah. All right. So you were just talking a minute ago about the destruction of the old world, Austria, Germany, France, all these areas where the old world buildings were destroyed.
Yeah.
Not getting a thing from you, Snowman. Can't hear you at all.
Because they also don't they even can take care of the buildings. They destroyed many of them because they were just too high of architect for them. It's sad, but it happens.
All right, here we go. Yes, and whoever did call me a stoner hippie is correct. I am a stoner hippie. Absolutely.
Stoner hippie.
I am.
To be so. That's
all right,
no
so
shame.
this is basically the events that took place that led up to that destruction.
Snowman, your mic is off, Snowman.
Yeah, we can't hear you, Snowman. You're muted. You're muted.
You're muted, yes.
See the little cross on your, see the little line on your microphone? You got to unmute it on the StreamYard. You're muted on StreamYard.
Tap on it.
Technical difficulty.
There you got it. Hey, we're back.
Hey,
We're back.
Snowman.
You gotta be smarter than the equipment you're working with, Snowman.
I got to jump in one more time. I put the earbuds on. I tried something new because I didn't like my audio before. I got to jump back in. I got the audio on the phone, but not in my ears.
We can hear you clearly. You're good fixed.
Sorry.
Yeah, all right, he's coming back, I guess. All right, anyway, let's watch this video.
Let's look at it.
All right.
The already dominant British Empire grew even more aggressive. Her troops and bureaucracy spread across the globe. The sun never set on Britannia's holdings.
The banking cartel funded, in fact, since about 1800, they have funded both sides of almost every war. And of course, they're getting the interest off of the loans that they've given the various governments and the wars that they have actually helped stimulate and create.
By 1900, Germany was a rising force and a leader of the Industrial Revolution.
World War I, for instance, there was absolutely no reason to have World War I, except that it was an ideal opportunity for the banking cartel to make a pile of money by funding both sides of that particular war.
On June 28, 1914, the heir to the Austrian-Hungarian throne, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, was assassinated while traveling in a motorcade.
Nice car.
The Black Hand, a Serbian secret society with connections to French and British intelligence, took credit.
It's funny, Austria was one of the biggest states.
World War I had begun.
Interesting thing too is that car that Ferdinand was riding in, the license plate on it, the tag was A111118.
Crazy shit.
And that's the same as Armistice 11/11/18, which is when the armistice was signed. Isn't that crazy? The license plate would have the date for the armistice as its tag number. The very car that the thing that set off these events that started World War I, had the date that it would end as its license plate?
Yeah, I know my grandpa were in Stalingrad. He got a hand grenade, so he got wounded. And
World War One or World War Two?
World War One in Stalingrad.
Stalingrad.
Stalingrad. Yes, he was moving to
You
Russia.
sure that was World? Yeah, but are you sure that was
this
World
World War Two. Sorry. Yeah, that's true.
My
That's
uncle
true.
was in Stalingrad too. My
but-
uncle was captured by the Russians in Stalingrad.
Yes, but where I grew up, there was also much influence of World War One because it was in the mountains, near mountains, and they was fighting in the mountains like crazy. No, they were really poor. In the
So
fucking
yeah, after
cold.
this video, we'll talk about it more.
Yeah, okay.
Armaments companies financed by Rothschild-controlled banks in Germany, France, England, and Austria bankrolled all the factions. At least 20 million were killed in the war. It was a conflict so terrible the people vowed to never fight again. They dubbed it the war to end all wars.
Question is, why did they want war? Well, first of all, is money and power. But secondly, they wanted to create the League of Nations. They had this in their plans all along, and as a consequence, once the war was over or about to be over, they began to formulate this idea of a League of Nations, so this would never, ever happen again.
Hundreds of years of practice made the British experts at hiding their empire behind puppet governments and councils. In the name of stopping all future conflicts, they proposed that countries would join a League of Nations. Their true intention was for the League to serve as a framework for world government.
So,
Yes, we in the history we were really how you said well good. They had nothing much to worry, They had a good life in the old times. It didn't was so hard how they tell you often,
Mhm. Well, the League of Nations didn't last. Why didn't the League of Nations didn't last? Is because the United States didn't join. Okay. And it was in Brussels, and the United States was like, okay, once is enough. We didn't want to go over there in the first place, and we lost a lot of guys. So fuck that. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what they said. So graciously, though, as they gave it
after the World War.
Yes, after the war,
Okay,
after
okay,
World
yeah.
War II, after World
Yeah.
War II, and
Okay.
the Rockefellers graciously donated the land to the UN, the United Nations. It was newly founded, and
Yeah.
they built their headquarters in New York. Well, how are we going to stay out of it if it's on our own soil? I mean, of course you got to be in it, right?
Cool.
And this was perfect for they introduced the police action as a test run in
and
Korea.
the Nazis was really a bad or really a bad party,
The first actual trial run for this kind of a thing to have a one world government army, a one world military force was when they took Dwight Eisenhower and made him supreme commander of Allied forces in Europe.
Yeah,
Now,
I heard.
first time,
Sorry that I interrupt, but I heard that how you called him, Hitler, was a bastard child of Rothschild or something.
Yeah, I've
You
heard
heard
that
about
too.
it?
It's a possibility. Yes, absolutely.
Yes, because
I have actually
he
listened.
attacked a village immediately after he had the power.
I've
He killed
drank
the whole
beer.
village where
Listen, I drank
anybody had the
beer.
knowledge.
I drank
Sorry?
beer right in front of the original House of Rothschild in Frankfurt.
Yes.
I didn't
yeah.
even know that's what it was until
Cool.
years later.
Okay.
Later, I found out what it was.
That's
But
something
no, let me
different.
get back onto my track. Was
Yeah.
that Eisenhower being given command, supreme commander of the Allied forces in Europe, a newly created rank, 5-star. This was never
Okay.
seen before. It was newly created, and this was a pilot test run of a international force being commanded by one general. Now, never ever in history had a general from one nation commanded over all the generals of these different nations, including England, because Eisenhower actually even had command over Montgomery. And that really galled the shit out of Montgomery, because Montgomery was a British supremacist. He thought that, Britain should be taking the lead in this. Well,
No, they were the winners, they were the winners. We were the losers, and that's just, and they wrote the rest of the story,
Right.
I don't.
But I'm
believe
just saying this is what the test run of it was.
Yeah,
And
of course.
what we're seeing here, this is another thing that's got me going too, and I've thought about this. They bring all these damn immigrants into all these different places, and they're all men of fighting age, and that's what I'm seeing out on the streets in these videos in the UK. We've got them coming here into the United States, and they're all over the place now too. And I'm just wondering if were they given some kind of a time and date that they were supposed to just pop off and start fucking with shit,
How is it in your area? Police state, or you have more your?
No, where I'm at, it's pretty fucking lax. We don't.
You don't have much trouble with the government.
I'm out in the sticks. I don't.
Man, when we want to drink a beer here, you can move to the last corner of somewhere, because when they see you drinking a beer, they fucking will give you 80 euros on. Yeah, just because you stay here and drink a beer, this is unbelievable. And so much police in Austria. Crazy.
What? X, previously known as Twitter, will soon remove the visible counts of likes, comments, reposts, and other interactions from replies to posts.
It's so hard to find anything. It's so much how you call it, hidden. To find something when you search on YouTube, you find nothing. Snowman?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, welcome.
I tried to try something different with the audio, man. I just really wanted to jump in. There's so much going on in my mind. I just want to spit off while I have the mic. No, Sovereign, I seen you jumping around and visiting other places, and nothing is more powerful than you producing from your own house. That is more powerful than that. I'm going to shut up for a second.
Yeah. So have you guys heard anything about sunflowers acting weird? I saw some shit about tomatoes not ripening correctly, like where the side of the tomato that's been sun facing is pale and doesn't turn red. And there's this thing about sunflowers. I don't know. What do you make of this? Let me bring this up real quick.
You guys tell me what you think about this. Can you see those sunflowers?
Facing away.
Sunflowers have a thing called heliotropism. They face the sun and curve their face towards the sun every day, all day, every hour to absorb the sun. Can you see there? Yeah. Yeah, they got their face turned away from the sun here. Now, if you look up over through there, you can see the beans and the corn and all that kind of stuff. and they don't have much choice. It's either grow straight up or fall down. But these sunflowers have a completely different mechanism. And for some reason, they don't like the sun. Now, I don't know what's causing that, but I'm inclined to say that the very people that took down my videos also might be responsible for this. I don't know that to be the truth, and I have no one to point a finger at. But I do know that these sunflowers are not facing the right direction. This is a farm boy. Let me know what you think about that.
Heliotropism. He says heliotropism.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Like the turning away from the sun, no?
Instead of facing it. And that's not the first video I've seen about that. Another thing, too, that I have noticed is shit is getting fucked up in the sunlight. Really bad. It's getting fucked up in the sunlight. Shit is like wanting to, if you leave it out and it's getting sunlight all day long, every day, it's like wanting to disintegrate and shit. I mean, I've noticed that the sun
you mean that the good stickies, you mean when you okay.
Well, like lawn furniture.
Can I say something? Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry, I don't want to bring back flashbacks from Nicole. Excuse me. But so anyways, when the COVID shit was going down, they had these yellow caution tape outside of the dollar store. Okay, guys? And sorry, my audio is fucked. That's why I tried to
You're all right. You sound all right. You're doing all right.
And so what it is the yellow caution tape was outside of the dollar store for no more than a week and a bit during COVID. And you know what happened? The yellow bled right out of the tape. The yellow bled right out of the tape. Now, there's a mailbox out Highway 141 where I live. And so it's a rural one-lane highway. And it was a bass. You ever seen these bass mailboxes? It's a bass with its mouth open. That's where you put the mail in. Okay. So I drove by it for years. I drove by it for maybe 3 years, and it never changed color. Like, I mean, it was starting to change pitch after 3 years, but most recently when I drive by it, it's completely sun faded. And so what happened to the caution tape was that the caution tape went clear where the yellow was, and it still read caution on there. And the bass mailbox that I'm talking about, it went blonde. It went straight like white. Like it's now like a white bass instead of being a bass. And so, yes, I'm fully on board with there's something wrong with the sun. And if I can, because, I mean, this is my time. They had this tree down in the park, and it's not doing well in the sun. There's a few things that seem to be burning. It seems like the leaves are burning from the inside. And so you showed me the just now. I knew what he was going to say as soon as he said about the sunflowers. I knew what he was going to say, that they're facing away from it because they don't like it, he said. And I seen another video just today about the tomatoes cooking from the inside, and they had like burn marks on them, and they were going foul on the vine, right? As a result of some unfortunate sun behavior or something, man. I don't know what the fucking call it. I'll mute myself and see what you guys say.
Yeah, you're all right. You're all right. Listen, there is something. And it's also, they're fucking with frequencies too.
That's a big deal, I think, really, in our generation and in the past ones.
Yeah, well, here's how. Watch this. This is crazy.
Crazy what they can do.
for those that can see.
I mean, frequency-based shit, I think. I mean, I've been seeing cloud patterns in the sky that look like waves.
I believe you can do a lot of things with frequency, also healing and
Yes, there's positive effects if they would use
positive
it as
things.
such. Yes.
You can also misuse it, yes.
I believe that's part of what this Antiquitech, like, man, I'm gonna just speak off because I can. But the Antiquitech stuff, I thought about it. It was like, what if there was an right? And they had these bells, and these pyramids that were helping it like capacitors, right? Like a capacitor.
They
You know what I mean?
free energy, yeah? Free energy, my brother.
Not even that. I think it was more like healing type energy, right?
Healing and
Why they remove all the
energy
bells?
supporter, I believe it was all in one, like something, really we have a knowledge that they keep hiding from us.
Why,
what
why
it is?
they melt? Why'd they melt? Why'd they take down all the old bells? Why'd
Because
get
they
rid
were
of
capacitors. Bells were capacitors for this resonance frequency, or if you like, this Schumann resonance that they talk about. Right. Well, we were doing something. I honestly don't believe anything past 200 years. I think everything is new after 200 years. I think we might even be a new species of the last 200 years. And what it is that they had the technology which was allowing us access to things that we can't even comprehend. And I mean, like,
yeah, you have, there's much right to it there.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I've often thought, how much of our actual history, and when it comes down to this little exercise of putting on one side of a list things that you know, and on the other side, things that you believe, you see, and you find out that you believe much, much more than you really, really know. And that's a little bit of a problem.
But here's the thing: if you think it, thinking is better to me than believing. If you think it, then you have supporting factors, right? And so, yeah, same with a belief, I guess.
That's the big thing, I believe.
But I think a better word than belief is think, and I think, therefore I am. You see, it's a fucking big circle.
That's so true. A belief system is so easy, sadly, to put people in the heads, and they just follow the rules, and don't question.
Who's doing the thinking? Me or you? Or are they doing the thinking for us? That's the problem.
That's just insane, Snowman, my brother. This is really crazy, what they're doing with us and everybody on this fucking planet.
Yeah, crazy shit. Listen, we're coming up on close to 3 hours. Probably going to shut it down here pretty soon.
All right. Well, if that's the case, can I bring up one thing? It's called Vatavara.
Yeah.
And it's this place in Finland, okay? And there's some horror stories about World War II. And it's just a region on the ley lines where strange shit apparently happened during World War II. And, it's strange because they have monoliths there that are now just being recovered and photographed as of 2014. So similarly, there's this Bosnian pyramid that I believe was only really mainstream recognized in 2008. We've had planes flying all over that Bosnia area and shit like that. There's no reason why no one would have noticed a giant fucking pyramid in the middle of Bosnia. Right? So I'm really starting to fucking get offside. Like,
Yeah,
I'm having
yes.
a bad day, guys. I'm sorry I popped in like this, but I understand you got to shut it down. But
NP about that, but there was a much also buildings in Mexico in the vaults, you know, where in the forests.
yes, yep.
Yeah, also
This
discovered much
Vatavara,
of
please,
buildings.
please, both of you guys, look into this Vatavara place. It apparently
Vatavara.
has some Vatavara. It's in Finland. There was the Soviets came. Can I tell you a quick story?
Sure.
The Soviets came and they wanted to go into Finland finally. So they come to Finland and they decide which is the highest ground. Well, it's this Vatavara place. And in this Vatavara place, there's a few lakes with no life. And they have 200-year-old pine trees that are only 2 meters tall, he says. So that's fine. So the Russians go up there to get the higher vantage point. Well, the Finns are there, undermatched, and they're watching them, and they're going, well, they're going up there. Well, whatever, let them go up there. And so they go up there, and they hear gunfire and grenades going off and shit, and they're going, what the fuck? Who the fuck are they fighting up there? And this is what I'm reading today, or listening to today. And so they say, oh, well, it's not us. We don't have guys up there, so who the fuck are they fighting? Are they fighting amongst themselves? So the mountain goes quiet. They go up there, and they investigate. It's 100 and change fucking Russian soldiers, and they're all dismembered and shit. And the only bodies that are intact are those who took their fucking own lives. And this is in the 1940s, and there's evidence of this. Like, I looked into it a bit today. And so the only people who were fully intact were people that took their own lives. And these are Russian soldiers. And so what they were saying was that something dismembered these guys, whether it was bears or wolves or whatever. Right? Okay? And so I'm looking into it today in modern times, what's going on over in Vatavara, because I got along this fucking war story. And so I started researching it. I started researching it a little bit. And what's going on today is they find there's all these fucking monoliths and shit bigger than fucking shit we've even seen. Like the Bosnian pyramids, one of the biggest pyramids that they found, right? Okay. And so this Vatavara has only been photographed as of 2014. There's no excuse for this, that this place wouldn't have been really photographed since now. And they're showing monoliths. And so what got me the most, Sav, was that they had female missing monoliths. So they had the place where they harvested the stone at right angles. They had female, right, missing stones, like someone went and plucked it right out of the fucking earth. And this was part of the infrastructure of the area at this Vatavara mountain or whatever. And that's what's been blowing my mind today.
I know
that.
Is there any kind of? Is there any?
On this crazy earth are so nice buildings. This is incredible.
You can look it up.
I was in China somewhere. And
Well, let me ask you, Snowman. What was there any like kind of speculation by people around the area or anything like that as to what actually had taken place? What ripped these people apart, or what did these people see?
So they call them these weird perched stones. They're monolithic stones perched on smaller stones. So as if near you.
The stones didn't rip them apart.
No, I know. The Samdi or whatever, there's a tribe that lives there. And they lived there in the 19th, Samdi or something. Like, you'll have to look it up because I'm not that good recollection. But there was a Samdi tribe. I'm not making this shit up, though. I researched it today, or I was into it today.
How do you spell the name of this place?
And just look into the Vatavara place. Yeah, it's a Vatavara, and it's near Finland. And
near Finland also.
So I could look at it, but my phone's really sensitive right now.
Okay,
I was
so
barely
I put
able.
in VATA space VAIR VARA.
Vatavara, or put Death Mountain, maybe even is what they call it. But there is a tribe that's lived there for centuries. Centuries and centuries. There's a tribe that's lived there, and they're not Finland. But they're not Finland. They're a small tribes. I don't even know what they are, but they're like rural people. Like, you know how you go to islands and you find these people that never dealt with civilization? Well,
Yeah.
this is the type of shit
Yeah.
I'm talking about. And this was in the 1940s. And so they told the Russian soldiers as well as they told the Finnish soldiers. They said, that's a dangerous place, Death Mountain. Don't go there and stuff like this. There's
that was the strong thing, was part of whole European, because there were so much little companies, groups, very much. So they really had, like to clean it up, or I think it was choicened. The place was choicened, and Hitler also did a lot of shit, So
what I saw,
they all played the game together.
what I saw was 100 foot. Like, imagine a brick. The way me and you would pick up a brick with our right hand. Imagine a brick 100 feet long by 50 feet tall. So twice as long as it is tall. And I saw today on different YouTube videos a fucking wall built with 100-foot stone by 50-foot stone. And so there was a wall built with this type of monolith structure in Batavara, which is a mountain they call Death Mountain in
find
Finland.
anything on it.
Nah, I will send it to you, Sav. I'll look up your email and shit. I've been out of touch, but
And
I'll
these
send you an
stones
email. You can check it out.
are on the
Well,
top
you-
of the mountain. On the top of the mountain, they are the
Yeah,
stones.
and there's what I saw was also a female relief where someone had taken one of these stones out, and you could see that it was cut from the Canadian Shield, or it was cut from an extremely large body of rock, and it was massive at right angles, and it's just blowing my mind that no one saw this shit before. But yeah, Batavara, man, I wish I could grab my phone right now, but I'm at like
and
2%.
some buildings in the.
No, I
Oh,
didn't
cool.
see too much for that you could say was a structure, but I did see a wall that appeared to be several stones long, and like I said, 50-foot by 100-foot bricks, and then just stacked on top of each other. This was an old structure, guaranteed.
Death's Mountain, okay, Finland, yeah, okay.
Yeah, Finland, Batavara, Batavara, I guess. Batavara, same way it sounds.
Mountain.
I had a
Perfect.
bunch of videos.
Thanks, thanks. Yeah, we are video chunks now.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on the Kandahar Giant or nothing. Yeah, don't get me started on that Kandahar Giant, because I'm all aboard on that Kandahar Giant.
Yeah,
shit.
I think there's something to that. I think there's something to that. Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, listen, I'm going to land this plane. It's 3 hours. We've been
Right,
in here
so
all night. Thank
Fuck
you guys for
It
coming on
was
up.
a pleasure.
Everybody out there,
Snowman,
we'll
all
be on
good, yeah.
again. We'll be on again tomorrow evening at 9:35 Eastern time. Our regularly scheduled, we're always on Tuesday. That's a one day you can count on. So
I was a little late today, so you go at 4 o'clock. I think you go online. So
yeah,
in my region of
I don't know,
time,
whatever
like
time it
that.
is.
Yeah,
9:35
in Vienna. You don't know, yeah.
in the United States. Do the math. Figure it
Well,
out.
thanks again, man. You definitely
what time you
therapeutically
have
helped
now?
me today.
All right, guys. Well, like we like to say, don't forget,
All right,
Lord
so-
loves the working man. Don't trust Whitey, and see your doctor and get rid
Do
of him.
fine.
He'll probably kill you. Good night, everybody.